just is. Discussions flow like midnight breeze. No prophets here, just minds to tease. We talk big bangs and evolution, question faith with our solution. Stars align in our confusion, breaking free from old illusion. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Point and laugh and myth believers. Here we're all true seekers. Open hearts and swift deceivers. Make your stand, no hidden levers. Raise your glass to reason's thrill. No ancient text, it's our own will. Debate till dawn with the panel and host. Saturday night, where we love toast. Echoes of a godless choir. Like the world, let's spark the fire. Free thought mindset to inspire. No holy walls to take us higher. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Only laugh and myth believers. Here where we're all true seekers. Open hearts and swift deceivers. Make your stand, no hidden levers. Raise your glass to reason's thrill. No ancient text, it's our own will. Debate till dawn with the panel and host. Make your stand, no hidden levers. Raise a glass to reason's thrill. No ancient text, it's our own will. Debate till dawn with the panel and host. Saturday night, we'll hold it dear. Raise a glass to reason's thrill. No ancient text, it's our own will. Debate till dawn with the panel and host. Saturday night, where we love toast. Echoes of the godless choir, light the world, let's spark the fire. Free thought mindset to inspire. No holy walls to take us higher. No holy walls to take us higher.
And hello, welcome to Saturday Night at the Atheists. We played the new version of the song with some toast in there because Scott was here, but nobody else. But along comes Brainless and Simos.
And the funky one.
Good to see you.
Good God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike is supposed to be along as good God. Mike is taking a power nap. He did a show earlier, but he will be here. And we got a song for Mike, so he better be here. And hello to the chat. Hello, Tilting Windmill, as always. Good to see you. Jasper and Fred, Rimmers. Excuse me. We got Greg's niche. Greg's a niche. We'll say Greg's. I'm not sure I'll put that together. Demon Orb. And see who else we got in here. I seen Fred. Hey, Austin's here. Hello, Austin.
Hey, Austin.
And that looks like everybody is here so far. Good to see everybody. Toasted Bigfoot. Yeah, I believe I got this picture from Ember. I was looking around for a picture just to put up, and I said, "Oh, that looks good." So can't
so you
beat
stole
Bigfoot on toast. No, Ember gave it to me, and I don't. Yeah, I will give people credit if they give me something. I get a bunch from Bree too, and Bigfoot's driving an old car and stuff, and super Bigfoots, and every once in a while, Bree's making stuff, and I get pictures. So I always appreciate that, and appreciate Bree's shout outs. Hiya, Jasper. How you doing? Jasper saying hi to everybody. Very nice. Don't forget, we do have emojis. You can use the emojis at your will. You can also, if you've got a wrench, it's because I gave it to you to put a link up for your channel or something you might have seen earlier. It's all welcome here. Only thing not welcome here is being a buzzkill, because it's Saturday night at the Atheist, and we're just here to have a good time. We're extra happy to have Simos joining us. I know Simos has had some health issues, and it's always good that Simos is with us and back with us after a little break. So good to see you.
Thank you.
And
Glad
Austin,
to be here.
Good. Austin,
So Austin,
too.
I hear you did the easiest thing in the world, and that is to get blocked by Otangelo Grasso.
I was surprised.
Well done.
He hadn't blocked me up till now. Like, he seemed to really want to reach me and have conversations with me. But I recently had this kind of flash of insight as to how the mindset works. Like, I've always kind of known it, but I haven't been able to put it in words this well. And what that was I realized that pretty much all creationist evolution deniers are some kind of presuppositionalist. Most of them don't really understand the workings of how their presupposition works. And what it is this: they presume that it is impossible for there to be evidence in God's world that contradicts God's word. So when you show them something that seems like it's evidence from God's world that contradicts God's word, because that's impossible, right? They assume there must be something wrong with the evidence. It's fake, or you're lying, or you're brainwashed, something like that. And I just asked him like 3 times, is it possible for there to be evidence from God's world that contradicts God's word? And he said, "Oh, you have nothing important to say. You need to find Jesus." And he blocked me.
Tangelo's never blocked me, but Sal was on it.
Yeah,
Mike.
but I think it's a powerful question, and I think it's one we should use more frequently, because it gets down to the actual problem. The actual problem is that their filter is broken. Their filter doesn't work, and they think the way that their filter is broken is actually a feature instead of a bug, because what it does is it seals their worldview off beyond questioning, which they see as a feature rather than a bug, right? So what it does is it says their map is perfect, and any data from the terrain that seems to contradict the map has to be interpreted or discarded, as opposed to allowing your map to be corrected by the data, which is what we do. And, we collect all the evidence we can. We don't even ask whether or not it fits our religious worldview, whether or not it fits the Bible. And in that way, their filter is broken and ours isn't. And there's this whole, it's really been, I came up with this idea like yesterday, and it's been a very revealing 24 hours, because I've posted this on like every creationism group I can, and I've gotten 0 answers. They all duck, dodge, dip, and dive. Most of them won't even admit that it's possible for evidence from God's world to contradict God's word. It's a total, I've been looking for like a really good silver bullet argument against creationism for a long time, and I found a couple. The heat problem is a good one, but this one is really good.
I was looking around Mike's page, and 1 year ago, he had a talk with Ryan from Save Me Apologetics. Must have been exciting. we covered him here too.
Oh yeah, I gotta remember that shit.
Yeah, I think that comes from Greg Bunsen, who said there's no neutrality between atheists and Christians. And that, of course, he's a famous presupper, so you're absolutely right. That's the stem of it, is the presupposition that God made everything, therefore there can be no thing which God doesn't affect, you know. And that's presupposition. Although Ortangelo is famous for using begging the question arguments.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever heard an argument that he's made that isn't begging the question.
He makes arguments.
Yeah, he used to, like a couple of years ago when I was talking to him a bit.
I like Otangelo, although he's said of some questionable things. And I've since stopped talking with him because of these things and certain people in the community that he said things about. But and Sal too. They get cornered and they get a little chippy, and
they do.
But I mean, I so want to hear his sound system. That's just one thing I wanted. But I understand that he really bothers some people, and so I cannot talk to him because I've heard the same thing from him 50 million times, and he doesn't change like most creationists don't. And,
well, Otangelo is the consummate. He's the consummate reading from a script, following a script, and he will not vary from it.
Yeah.
And nothing affects him. I think, what was it, James? James. The Rocks were there.
James Downer.
Yeah, James Downer called it that potted plant look.
Mm-hmm. He has a potted plant look.
And nothing varies. Nothing goes on in the frame.
Well, like
when you're coming full of himself, so you'll appreciate tonight. Go ahead, Simos.
When you come across the same apologists, like for this many years, of course, like having had many, I mean, we've all had chats with Otangelo, we've all had chats with Sal, and of course, what happens is that they get defeated so many times with their arguments that they then just go further down the hole, and they end up at presuppositionalism because that's undefeatable, right? In their view, So even though it's begging the question again,
I tell you what,
even though it's circular reasoning, but at least they've got that,
Well, I tell you what went around and around in my head when I was approaching deconversion was that phrase, lean not unto your own understanding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because following evidence seems to a fundamentalist like it's leaning on your own understanding, like it doesn't, like you somehow are disqualify yourself from the game. It's like giving up if you let the evidence speak for itself.
Yes.
It's like, oh, Satan's just really getting to you.
Your faith is weak.
Yeah, and so it keeps you in this cyclical, both CYC and SICK cyclical trap.
Yeah.
It's like the gerbil, on the wheel that won't stop.
Yeah, but there's two levels of presuppositionalism, isn't there? There's Van Til, which is bad enough, but then even worse is the Greg Bunsen, which uses it as some kind of attack. So like, when you hear that, and this is why I think Austin makes such a great point here. Once you get to that no neutrality phrase, right, then you're on Greg Bunsen ground, and there's no hope whatsoever. That's it. They're lost now after that point.
Yeah, somebody in the live chat.
Hello to Mirror Point real quick over at Mike's channel. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. Go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, somebody in the live chat said you can't break through the brick wall. What's great about this argument is that it shows you beyond a doubt that the brick wall is there. And it shows you how strongly the person who has set their worldview beyond that brick wall is attached to the brick wall, whether or not they're willing to deconstruct it. And most of them aren't. Most of them, they know their filter is broken in air quotes, but to them, like I said, the way their filter is broken, they consider it a feature instead of a bug. And it does have the strength in that their worldview is beyond questioning. There's no evidence that can touch it.
Yeah.
But for us, we see that as a weakness rather than a strength actually, because you have a map, the map will never change. And the terrain doesn't fit the map, the terrain does change. So even if the terrain fit the map at some point, it won't always fit the map. So a dynamic map is better. A filter that allows you to adjust the map is obviously better. But if you're dealing with someone who doesn't value logic, they don't value evidence, they don't value curiosity, how can you get somebody to value those things using logic, using evidence, using curiosity, using arguments? I don't think there's a way you can actually do it. You have to get them to want to see the evidence. That you have to get them to want to care more about actually knowing and getting information than they do about their soul getting an eternal life, eternal reward. And that's in that way their worldview, that schema is very strong. It's difficult to break.
I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying. For me, it comes down to the actual denial of any inductive process to come to conclusions and the acceptance only of deductive arguments. And that's why they think they're so strong. That's why they hang on to it so strongly, because, of course, as we know, deductive arguments give you necessary conclusions. Unfortunately, all of them are circular.
Yeah.
Right. And so they have this huge fallacy right there. It doesn't make them wrong necessarily. It just means that there is no way to question it, like you're saying. And that's what's so beautiful about the pre-sub argument. Right, is that it shields them from having to look at the arguments if they just say, well, it's either got to be foundational, circular, or I can't remember the third one of Agrippa's trimester, but at the moment, but
it's a brute fact, it's circular, or an infinite regress.
Right, exactly. So they just go, right, well, circular. Let's pick one of the evils. We'll go for circular because this proves God necessarily.
Yeah,
that's what's going on in their heads. Anyway, go ahead.
Let's all say hi to Greg and Atheist and Rochelle joining us. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. And also my
Glacia's Rochelle.
Yeah. And also to
so that
tilting windmill.
The stream I did today on my channel was. It was a reaction to something that happened this week. Well, a couple of things that happened this week, where we're looking at the same thing, and they're seeing something totally different, like that murder in Minneapolis, where they expect you to, and I keep telling them, look at it, just look at the paper, and they keep saying, yeah, what it says this and that means it, and they keep coming back, and it's like, how do you?
So do you, Mike? You keep going after Rebecca over there. I mean, you're a sucker. You're a sucker for. Hello, Farm. How you doing? And speaking
she has really good detailed garbage over there that she's persuading people with, Dave.
Well, she took a break and then she came back with it, so I don't know what's going on. Hello, Jedi. How you doing?
She's got these people that sound like they're professionals. And they are doing damage over there, man. So you got to go.
He even had a book. He even had a book.
This guy had a book, which you cannot find anywhere in print. I think I think eBay had it maybe, but that was about it. I couldn't.
It kind of looked like one of those cheap pulp paper kind of books.
Yeah, it was out of stock. Even Abe's book, it was out of stock on Abe's books, which is unheard of almost. But yeah.
Well, let's take care of a little business. I heard that Mike had a birthday this week. Around here, you get a song. You get a song for your birthday. So, Mike, happy birthday, and here's your song.
Crowd noise fading in. Is this thing on? And buzz. Picks like screaming up the neck. Woke up to a group chat roast, 15 memes of his middle school code, cake in the fridge with his face on top, candles waiting like blow us or we pop. Happy birthday, Mike. Turn it up till the neighbors file a complaint. Happy birthday, Mike. Still a legend in socks and an old band tee. Happy birthday, Mike. steals half the plate. Give bags full of socks and bad advice. You only live once, better live it twice. Moi, two, one. Happy birthday, Mike. Turn it up till the neighbors file a complaint. Happy birthday, Mike. Still a legend in socks and an old fancy. Happy birthday, Mike. Here's two more riffs, more dumb group picks, more bad dad jokes you haven't earned yet, Mike. More off-key sing-alongs, 2 chord, 3 wrongs. You still somehow nailed the ending, Mike. Mike. Happy birthday, Mike. Turn it up till the neighbors file a complaint. Happy birthday, Mike. Still a legend in socks and an old fancy. Happy birthday, Mike. Happy birthday, Mike. Happy birthday, Mike.
That was wonderful.
Happy
love
birthday, Mike.
I love the
Happy
part
birthday,
about
Mike.
turn it up till
Thank you,
neighbors
thank you.
complain.
Yeah,
Happy
I like
birthday,
that,
Mike.
yeah.
Hope you had a great one.
Yep, that actually happens. So
So how old
And-
are you now, Mike? Can it be expressed as an integer, or do you need to use scientific notation?
I was 27,395 days old on that day. Today I'm 398, but 3/4 of a century is what I am.
Oh, nice.
And you know what? Scares the shit out of me. I mean,
Yeah, no
Jesus.
shit.
Now,
Shit is
now
gonna
you got a
start
century
falling
to
off.
go to. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit is gonna start
And
falling off.
we also had Deconverter Man talk to somebody that had a picture of an angel. He wanted me to share the picture.
Oh, is this it? That right there?
That's it. There, that was his thumbnail.
Well,
Apparently, the angels have
Paul?
lots of eyes, and
Yeah,
know,
the
Oh,
biblically
Stephanie
accurate
and-
angels.
yeah,
Wow.
they have
Man,
eyeballs all
those
over.
are scary. Those fuckers
They're
are
always
scary.
watching you, I guess. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of artwork of biblically accurate angels, because the way angels are depicted in the Bible, sometimes they're just, pretty dudes or pretty ladies in a flowing white frock or whatever, but their actual form is described as things as like wheels of flame with dozens of
Wow.
wings and eyes everywhere, or they're
or they're
described
just,
as like
just messengers.
floating
And they're
shape.
nothing
Yeah,
special.
so
Yeah.
This thing looks like a Chernobyl starfish.
yeah.
And also, we've got a question. Do you remember what that book was called that guy had on Rebecca's show? If not,
Oh, I got
she
it somewhere.
she mentions it on Mike's stream there. So
Oh shit! It was creation. Let's see. I tried finding it in a number of different places. I could not find that book. It is called. Oh no, it doesn't. I can't find it now. Creation something or another. The science. He's talking about the science.
it's a little,
let's
it's a little
see,
paperback book. She did mention it during the stream, so I don't remember what it's called either, but you can always check that.
Well, I
See
got
what it
here.
was called. Hello, Spooky. How you doing?
I got
Hello,
it.
Gio.
Oh, hey, Gio.
Yeah, I have a quick
Hey, Gio.
errand to run, but I'll be here and I'll be popping back up once I'm done with it.
Okay.
Okay.
And here's where Mike's stream. If you want to scroll through, she does hold up the book and shows it off and gives him a plug. So
Yeah, it's called Intelligent. Is it called Intelligent Design? I'm trying to. Hang on a second here. I've got it coming up here.
okay.
Okay, Intelligent Design as Proof of Creation, a Scientific Analysis.
There you are.
Intelligent, yeah, a scientific analysis.
And
we're
Mike
always
couldn't
saying,
find it
the
anywhere.
well, like this guy, I don't know if you really, with this guy we're covering today, you really should skip ahead to his evolution part. He's going to do the whole goddamn Big Bang thing again. I'm going to go nuts.
Mm.
I'm going to lose it, man.
Well,
but-
this guy today has had scientific training, so he knows what he's talking about.
And you know what
Even
he's
though
had?
he doesn't appear
So-
to know what he's talking about. So
He's got 2 degrees in what they call applied science, which could be a
That's-
number of things.
That's what Ken Ham has got.
No, I think
Anyway.
you misunderstand that, Mike. He's saying he's 2 degrees short of north.
2 degrees short. But applied
Everybody
science,
knows. Everybody knows all the best science starts with
Yeah.
a presumption that you get out of a religious scripture. That
Yeah.
is the gold standard science, according to Ken Ham, Kent Hovind, all the intelligent design types like Stephen
Oh,
Meyer
yeah.
and Michael
If you
Behe.
haven't seen
That is the
Hovind-
real way to do science. You start with what the Bible tells you, ignore all contradictory evidence, and keep that idea forever.
Hovind did an interview this just before Christmas or something, and Owen covered it, and Cariso's covering it. I'm sure everybody that does a Hovind is covering it. I forgot who he's talking to. A couple he was talking to, anyways. And same old stuff from Hovind. He didn't even wear a nice shirt. He wore one of his dino shirts and with tacos on it or something. I was like, you know, I'm not one for dressing up, but I'd put on a nice shirt if somebody was interviewing me, you know? Maybe it's just the way you do things and, you know, in my age or whatever, but, you know, you figure with Hovind, he would put on a shirt or something, but he's to the point where he doesn't even care. He just wears those ugly dino shirts all the time. The
Branding.
Hawaiian version.
Branding.
Yeah,
Things are cool.
Yeah.
I guess. But
It's his brand. His brand is being ugly.
really
Yeah,
disappointing.
Rimmer's Brigiri said it's on Amazon for $15, but it says out of stock. I don't know. I'll check again.
Out of stock. Like it was ever in stock.
Well, you
Yeah, I
probably
think it
didn't
was
print a
in
whole
stock.
lot of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah, but I like to spend about a half hour saying hello to everybody and what's new with everybody and what's everybody been doing. And then we get into our video. So let's get into our video because this is kind of a long video. I did trim off the first 10 minutes because he was just,
You should
I think Dave is older than Mike, though. Yeah, I feel like it.
you should have trimmed off the next 40 minutes.
Yeah, but the first few minutes I trimmed off, he always was almost making sense, and then but it was kind of boring, and yeah, then he gets to hey deconverted man, how you doing? I showed him your angel picture.
Oh,
A lot of people have the eyeballs. It seems to be the Austin brought it up that there's a lot of descriptions of angels, but as far as what the Bible says, it doesn't really match what the cherub type angel that most people know. The one I know is that it's just simply a messenger from God, and it could be anybody or anything. So, if you want like with a lot of eyeballs, though, go with a lot of eyeballs. And we want to thank Deconverted Man for sending us the picture. Deconverted Man also just suggested, I think I brought it up last week, to ask ChatGPT what all the meanings of people are poop or something like that. He had quite a list come out of there, so you can always do that. And you're welcome, Deconverted Man. Thanks for being a great friend of the channel. Appreciate you very much. So we're going to go to this guy, if I can find him here.
Hey, real quick, somebody
ahead.
mentioned Stephen Meyer earlier in the litany of stupid creationists. Phil Halper of AKA Skydive Phil was on Aaron Ross' channel and said that he did a debate with Stephen Meyer, and that's going to be coming up later in the month or maybe even next month. But they just released a video on Phil Halper's channel where a bunch of actual scientists and physicists kind of provide their own counter arguments to Meyer. So I put that link out in the side chat. It's really interesting. Be looking for that debate, but also go visit that video where he just kind of compiled a bunch of cosmologists who are just basically bulldozing over Stephen Meyer's arguments.
Yeah, I
Do you
seen
remember the story of Sodom and Gomorrah when the two sexy angels show up to Lot's house and A crowd gathers around his house demanding that he send the sexy, sexy angels out to the crowd so the crowd can have sex with them. Was that Lot? Do you know the story I'm talking about, Scott?
Yeah, that's Lot and Sodom and Gomorrah. Mhm.
Lot
Yeah, and
offers
then
up his
he
daughters.
sends out. He's like, "Yeah, no, don't have sex with these sexy, sexy angels. Have sex with my virgin daughters instead." And he sends his daughters out to the crowd to get freaking gang violated.
And really,
Yeah,
the story is about
that's one of the
people-
stories
people
where
having stuff and
angels
not sharing.
appear. Yeah. That I was just mentioning because it's a story where angels appear in human form, so they can assume a human form sometimes. But apparently, whenever they do, they're so sexy that everybody wants to freaking bang them, and it causes problems.
Yeah, they were just
I think I can see
travelers or
this.
something, weren't they?
I think I can see the vagina on this one.
I was going to say, I think I've seen that in a Japanese porn film.
Yeah. So, like Saturday night at the Atheist before, we aren't going to hear a lot new. We're just going to hear a different opinion of it. And we're going to see what this guy has to say about science. He supposedly has 2 degrees in science from an engineering school. And I'm wondering
Applied
again,
science.
Oh my goodness!
why so
Engineers.
many engineers are creationists? What is it that they teach them?
Otangelo was an engineer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's
So
a
we know that
So
we know
many
the
of them are.
standard of
machine
ar-
designer.
we know the standard of argument we're coming up against.
So this is going to dive right into it. Like I say, I trimmed off the first few minutes because it was, it's kind of boring stuff. And we're going to get into the good stuff because we barely get past 10 minutes. And I thought if I played the 10 minutes, we'd be stuck in the 10 minutes. So this is for you, Mike. We're going to get right to the meat of the subject.
Right to the Big Bang part?
Right to it. Yep. And I don't remember. What's he talking about? Little of everything, or I watch so many videos, it's hard to tell. But this guy is awful confident that everything starts out as a theory, and if it's promoted, it becomes a law. So that's where we're going to start at, and we're going to see what he has to say about that.
Said he has 2 science degrees, and he doesn't know the actual ordinal quality and scientific epistemology of the terms theory and law. Are you fucking kidding me? God, where did they
I
get
wouldn't
these
kid you.
people?
I wouldn't kid you.
I'm pretty sure he knows, but I think he just knows that the people watching his shit don't know, and he's just abusing that.
His audience is the one that's confused, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, so I think that this person is not he does not completely believe what he says, because like just as you said, like if you have those degrees, like those differences, like you know how those terms work. Like, come on, if you even slightly interested in any science, then you know it. My fucking dumbass knows it.
Yeah,
especially if you supposedly have 2 degrees. Yeah.
This is one of the most commonly corrected talking points. It's corrected by middle school science instruction. They teach you what science is in freaking middle school. They explain the difference between a theory and a law, and that a theory is a higher ordinal quality than a law. A theory explains laws. Laws are just an observation of patterns that generally hold up. Oh my
God!
God!
Laws are used in theories, but theories aren't used in laws. He's got it completely backwards. And where a theory becomes a law is wrong. Laws are mostly like math problems and stuff like that. A theory explains how something happened, at least to the best of our abilities.
Yeah, that's the theory behind what's going on.
Right. So we're gonna see. Let's see what he has to say here, and we can make fun of it then.
Woohoo! Let's make fun of a bitch.
Here he goes. And like I say, he's going to jump right in. So
basically, they're saying that you start with this single cell organism that somehow magically came into existence, and then it magically evolves into a multiple cell organism, and this continues to evolve and grow, and then you have a plant. And those plants grow into different plants and more plants.
No.
And then eventually sea creatures, simple sea
no.
creatures, they become fish. And fish become amphibians. Amphibians become reptiles.
Holy
and they come
shit.
onto land. And then these cold-blooded
I think that man bun is a little bit too tight, but
I
Yeah.
think so. He's just,
we'll leave
oh my
it. We'll
God.
leave it there. Yeah, he uses magic a lot, doesn't he, Fred?
Yeah.
The irony of him using magic, where everything just instead poofed into existence, which isn't magic. I don't know how it's not magic, but somehow it's not magic. So
Yeah,
He went into creationism after he lost his job at the Starbucks.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's the
And-
thing. I
and
mean,
did I
what
hear-
happened to
did-
preachers dressing nice? I mean, they don't even dress nice. It's like they're not even trying anymore.
No, I think this is being part of the group, not being
Yeah.
like
Trendy. He's trendy. He's
yeah,
appealing
yeah,
to the kids.
like yeah. And,
If
and
you
did
were
I
to
hear
turn-
correct? Did I
ahead.
hear correctly that within 5 seconds of him talking, one of you already was triggered?
Yeah, that was me, of course.
Hello, Chris.
I was
How you
gonna
doing?
get him to stop it and make a comment, but I thought I better not this week. But if you were to turn the camera around, you would literally see Play School Group,
Yeah. There are
He's
a lot
probably-
of young
all
there are a
toddlers
lot
and
of young
mums,
people there.
all
Yeah.
toddlers and mums. That's it. That's why he's using the word magic, because you know.
And these people don't know any better. And it's sad that I mean, I used
But
to
then-
love science class. And that was one of the highlights of my day was science class.
Oh, yeah.
And now people just don't seem to even they just want to use science for political talking points or something, and that's it. I don't know. I used to be quite the geek, and I loved science. I mean, it was learning new things, and now it's become a bad word that science has learned something new. So it's a real
Yeah.
shame.
I love the irony of the sign as well.
Yeah.
The irony of now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than we ask or imagine,
Yeah.
which is virtually every scientist on the planet.
Let's see what else he's got to say. So far, he hasn't said much, but I don't know. If I was going to be on stage, I'd wear more than my flannel shirt with my flannel rolled up and cargo pants, and I don't know. I'd lose the man bun, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well,
He needs to show them youths that he's with it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
if you look in the background there's like an amplifier. You can see the edge of a drum kit. So this is
Yeah.
obviously, very loud, like worshipping. So
Oh, yeah, he's got
not
the
going to
full
get.
band there. Yeah.
Yeah, you're only getting youngsters in there, teenagers that want to play guitar or, like they all do.
Yeah, please check out Deconverted Man's channel. He has a good channel, does a lot of interviews, does a lot of breakdowns, and he's got a lot of great photos. So make sure you check out Deconverted Man. Thank you, Tilting.
animals, they become warm-blooded animals, and they become, monkeys and apes become men, or they become Neanderthals, and then eventually they become men.
Oh my God. He just, what the?
No,
What?
no.
He obviously didn't take any biology.
He was doing okay where, fish
Ish.
become amphibians. Yeah, he was giving
No,
a
that
good
was-
breakdown,
yeah.
but then he went totally
He
off.
only
I mean,
had to watch a couple of Gutsick Gibbon videos.
Yeah.
yeah.
Got it all straightened out.
And an ape
Yeah.
becomes a Neanderthal,
Neanderthal,
becomes a man.
yeah.
He totally lost it there.
Yeah, that's the way it went, obviously. He's
He's all about the
All of
science,
these
I guess.
over time,
Yeah.
these
Oh,
changes.
he's going to repeat
and they
that.
often refer to this as the process of natural selection, or commonly known as the survival of the fittest.
And here he goes
Yeah,
throwing out a
no.
bunch of terms that he doesn't understand, saying these are all things of evolution. It's kind of like Rebecca or Jim Bob or anybody else. They want one thing, and like Mike tried to tell them, evolution is a lot of things. And that's what gives it such power, is that it is so many things that come together under the umbrella of evolution. It's you just can't point to one thing. You have to say, well, this and this and this and this and this, and then other fields converge too, and they all agree, and that's what makes it so strong and such a good theory, not just one thing. Hello, STS, Stop the Stupidities here. How are you
Hey,
doing?
stop! What's up, bitch?
Hey, hello.
where basically these through mating patterns and random mutations, what ends up happening is these mutations stand or they remain intact because of necessity. Something in the environment requires them to develop opposable thumbs and so forth.
Yeah, yes and no.
Kind of.
That kind of slants
Kind
it.
It's like he took some notes, but he doesn't remember what the notes were on.
Yeah.
He's got a few things in there, but hello, Martinez. How you doing? Jasper, how you doing? Good to see everybody here.
Now, when scientists are questioned on how far-fetched an idea this is, that somehow this complex human, this complex being that is women and men, but women in particular, right, that they somehow have
Somebody had an
spontaneous...
argument before they left the house.
Yeah.
He again, he's trying to throw these jokes out to people. Women are in charge and everything, and it's all good and that, but he doesn't even wait for any laughter or chuckle or anything. He just says it like a straight man or something. I don't know. He does it several times, and it really bugged me. I mean, at least a Hawaiian shirt guy chuckles at his own jokes,
Actually mutated from a single cell organism. And the answer they give, they say, it took billions and billions and billions and billions and billions.
And billions. Wait a minute. Wait. No.
Go ahead,
Just
Mike.
billions, not billions and billions and billions. What the hell is he talking about?
And once we had a plan, things can change pretty quickly, and that's what some of the evolutionists have taken heat for is quick changes, and there can be quick changes. Somebody mentioned Stephen Meyer, and he was talking about the Cambrian. The Cambrian was not the beginning of life. The Cambrian was the beginning of diversification because we had about everything in place, and from there you had a lot of diversification. So
yeah,
he
got serious.
He's got some notes, but I don't think he went over them.
I like the way they say the Cambrian explosion, as if it happened overnight.
Yeah.
Right. Rather than the 50 odd million years or something,
Yeah, and the key thing about the Cambrian explosion is that's because the structure of those life forms could actually be fossilized then, because they had external skeletons and things like that.
Yes, they stupidity is doing some running and lurking. So Deconverted Man wants to know how you can type and run at the same time.
Well, how did that evolve?
Try opposable thumbs.
Yeah. Have a physical keyboard. Have a physical keyboard so you don't have to look at the keyboard. That's the thing I always...
Bree was talking about it earlier. Opposable thumbs and a crappy keyboard don't add up. So wish she gets her keyboard situation taken care of.
They have time. And so and when Darwin, when he released his book, they would said we had trillions of years. Because they thought
nobody was what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, that's not true.
Where did he pull that from? Holy shit!
At the time, they genuinely
shit from.
At the time,
he's talking about an infinite universe, that sort of thing. I think, yeah.
Yeah. But at the time, they believed the Earth was like, I don't know, maybe 100,000 years old or something. Yeah. Kelvin had been doing some estimations of if the sun was made of coal, how long would it burn? And he came out to some particular number, because of course they didn't know about nuclear fusion then. So
hello, John Lovell. Good to see you.
Hey, John.
Yeah, I didn't even look up the trillions because I knew that wasn't accurate. Hovind likes to do that too, and they just throw out numbers without actually looking anything up.
Can you imagine how happy Trump would be if the sun was made of coal?
Or if there was a fire in space, and
or no, what if the sun was made of oil? Oh wait, then America would have already invaded it. Never mind.
He loves this big, beautiful coal.
Try to take it home.
Coal.
Try oil.
Yeah, he really likes that stuff. He thinks like creationists that there's unlimited supply, and if we just dig it up faster and burn it up faster, there'll be more.
You mean
And-
steal it faster? Steal it faster.
Yeah,
Which is
No,
what
no,
he's
no,
a
starting
lot
to
of
do, man.
countries too. I mean, he's going to get in trouble with a lot of countries.
He knows it's not unlimited, but he knows it will not run out in his lifetime. So he wants to sell as much as possible so he can make as much money off of it as possible.
Yeah, he's only got a few years left, so what does he care? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not even a matter of decades for him. I mean, people are
Yeah,
saying
and like-
they'll be lucky to complete his term. So,
Yeah, no, like, but
you like my
also,
glasses? Chris likes my
Yes.
glass. I wore my glass. Usually, for most of my career wearing glasses, it's been for driving. I couldn't see a ways away, but taking these meds and doing the treatments, I've been getting watery eyes. And there's been a few times where I leaned forward and stuff, and it really bugs me when people do that. And so I don't like to do that. So put your glasses on. That's what you got them for. That's what I paid a lot of money for. And these are designer frames and everything. I paid a lot of money for these. So I might as well wear them, right? So, yeah, but thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. And yes, they do have automatic tint. They get pretty dark out in the sun and scratch resistant. And then my wife is a Teamster, so we get all the goodies with our glasses. So one thing they take care of is our eyes and our the vision and the dental and everything that goes with the insurance is pretty good. The Teamsters take care of that. They don't want their people complaining. And hello, John, how you doing?
Let me ask a quick question. This is going to
Sure.
take us on a rabbit trail, but at 4:45 p.m. or maybe 5:45 p.m. if you're depending on your time zone, Big John Lovell typed a message that made it through our StreamYard comments that said America's Christian government sucks. I cannot find that in my side chat. Did anybody else see that come through on their side chat at 4:45, or is YouTube filtering that out?
You might have. I don't know. I didn't see it.
I
do-
saw the
well,
message.
And it's also if you
Hello, Brian.
delete your message on YouTube, it will stay in StreamYard.
Yeah, in StreamYard, it's still there. Big John's message is still there.
Yeah, but not. I'm kind of pissed that YouTube is taking a statement like that and filtering it if that's what's going on. But I certainly
No,
can't.
it is showing on my end.
On your side chat, okay,
Yeah, it's showing in my side.
okay, so it's just a
chat.
glitch.
Do you have your side chat set to live or popular?
Set to live or what?
Top chat or live?
Top chat or live chat?
Oh, top chat. Let's do live
Yeah,
chat.
It could be.
that might be the difference.
Okay,
Nobody-
well then I will curtail my outrage.
Yeah, if you
Big
turn
John
on
says
top
you
chat,
can
you can
find
see
him
top
on
dog.
YouTube. Yeah, watch out for the top dog. Now he'll get you.
Yeah,
Top
here it is
dog.
now. Here it is now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there are some that are
Smart
filtered
dumbass
out.
again.
So, yeah.
Universe was a steady state, always existed, and just you had plenty of time. That was the answer. So yes, it was require random occurrences. Yes, the odds are so low, but with enough time, anything can happen.
Well, steady state was the leading idea, and then it was proven wrong, and science had to adjust because they were wrong. That's the best part about science. They adjust when they're wrong. So I've had glasses for 48 years. I've had glasses for a long time too. Mostly, like I say, though, they were for driving. When I first got glasses, it was because I was leering at the chalkboard and the teacher noticed. And then really they weren't too bad and they were pretty mild. But when I was driving limo, looking for addresses and stuff was pretty tough. Things were a little bit blurry. And I didn't like looking unprofessional trying to find that. So, hey, Regios, how you doing? Yeah, there's a bunch of people on my stream. If Mike dual streams. If you want to come over here, if you want to go over there, it's all good by us.
Yeah, joining the chat over here is a good idea, but God, I got a
Yeah.
lot of views on the last. I got 300 views last week.
Yeah, we
What the hell?
about split the views last time, so
Yeah.
we had a lot of people watching last week.
Yep, it's kind of cool. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, that answer became a bit more difficult in 1929, some 75 years after Darwin released his book, when the famous astronomer Edwin Hubble proved that the universe is expanding. It's growing.
Yeah.
And it's been growing over time, which means that if it's growing, it had to have a starting point.
It also means that the Bible is wrong because it says that God stretcheth out the heavens. It didn't say he's stretching. He said past tense. So did he already do it? Or are things still being done? And that draws in the creationists who think everything was created, but like Hovind likes to push, we haven't seen stars being formed when we have, because he doesn't like the idea of God still forming the universe, but yet he does at the same time. So did I say the Bible was wrong? I didn't say that, did I? Hello, Leo. How you doing? Good to see you.
It had to have a beginning. Well, that caused some problems because now the universe is on the clock.
No, it said the universe in space-time had a beginning. It didn't say the universe particles or whatever they call them had a beginning. Those could have always been around. The subatomic particles, or this is Leo's department. But yeah, the way they used the universe in space-time was created. Space-time started at the moment after the Big Bang, but what happened during or before the Big Bang, or what there was, nobody really knows. So be careful with your wording.
Meaning that you can't just say trillions and trillions of years, but they would have billions of years still for all of this evolution to take place. But they have another problem now.
Uh-oh.
Because if there was a beginning, the question is, well, how did it begin? What caused all this universe to come into existence?
That's what the Big Bang is about.
That is a problem.
Yeah, and like just to say this, putting God in there doesn't solve the problem.
Doesn't solve the problem, yeah.
Brian says his notification wasn't on. Make sure your notifications are on, and on other channels too. I've noticed that some of mine haven't stayed on as well. So every once in a while, check your stuff and make sure you get your notifications. Otherwise, you might not be getting them. And also, check what Mike checked, and that you're getting gift memberships.
Yeah.
Go to the join button and the three little dots. Make sure you're getting gift memberships if you've never gotten a gift membership.
Yeah.
So that
Okay.
might be turned off as well.
So everybody, make sure you do a mic check.
Do a
Three
mic check.
yeah.
That's right.
Three tiny little dots.
Those three little dots.
Inconspicuous little fucking dots. That's
Put
what you
'em
got to
there.
find.
They like to stick them here and there, and always check your dots.
Yeah.
Enter the Big Bang Theory. How many people are familiar with the Big Bang Theory? Not the TV show, just so we're clear.
Good one.
The audience got that one. And Rochelle is dropping green in the chat. 10 captive desk memberships. Thank you very much, Rochelle. We've got Martine. We've got Cardinal. We've got Math Pig. We've got Tank. We've got, is that Lance or Lance? Or Ian. My fault. I'm reading that. See, I've got my glasses on and I didn't even catch the Ian part.
OG.
Ian, one of my favorite debaters. I love when Ian goes up against Hawaiian Shirt Guy. Good times. Native Atheist. Leo Phileas. Detroit Atheist Queen. Ryan. Jasper. And I think that's all of them. Thank you very much. And just for that, we're going to get you a Bigfoot.
Bigfoot stomps. Bigfoot stomps through the dark, through the swamps. He says you rock, he says you roll. Bigfoot stomps on your soul. Bigfoot stomps on your soul.
Thank you very much, Rochelle, for supporting the channel, and everybody that got free memberships. Drop those emojis. That's what they're for. Thank you, Rochelle, and you rock.
I won't judge you for that. So the Big Bang Theory, it states that approximately
Hey, there are worse TV shows than The Big Bang Theory, in my opinion. So let that be what it will, and enjoy what you do. But picking on The Big Bang just because it's called The Big Bang, I think is kind of low. But man, maybe you don't like the show, so we'll give that one to you. But the audience sure seemed to like that one. They all knew who the Big Bang Theory was talking about, and that's funny because it's also a scientific theory, which isn't even a theory because it's not a law. So whatever you want to do. And we've got Light Speed. Hello, Light Speed. It says, "Hey, Dutch here. Can I get a quick heads up? Is this about the dumb way or the other way around?" I think it's the dumb way. That's what you're talking about. He's trying to get to the audience, and the young audience recognized the Big Bang Theory, so he got a laugh out of that. The last one, he didn't even get a laugh out of, so they must not have been hip to that.
13.8 billion years, give or take a few months. 13.8 billion years ago, there was from a single point, a massive explosion. And out of that massive explosion, extremely hot, tiny particles.
No.
Yep. You want to correct that? It wasn't an explosion.
It was an explosion from a hot, dense state.
Expansion.
I mean, if you're going to make a joke about the TV show, at least listen to the commercial. It says from a hot, dense state. Doesn't say from nothing. And Leo will confirm that. Nope. Thanks, Leo.
Now,
it wasn't an explosion. It was an expansion.
Are you saying expansion from a hot, dense state, or is he saying no to the dude?
Yeah, they know the song. They know the TV show. I mean, come on. One or the other, right?
Along with light and energy, exploded.
No, that's wrong too, because when everything was really hot, nothing was doing much of anything but being hot. We had to wait for it to cool down, which is the first part after the Big Bang, is waiting for things to cool down because nothing much was happening. So again, it's like he took notes, but he didn't know what he was taking notes on.
And as it began to expand, it began to cool.
There you
and with
go.
that cooling,
when it expanded, it cooled. Now, why are you mixing those things up? Stop doing that. And you can see the young people in the front row there. He's talking to his people. He's not talking to anybody that has a clue, or they don't really care.
Those particles bumped into each other with the energy and the light, and they began to form all the building blocks for atoms and subatomic particles and so forth, which eventually led to stars and planets and black holes. That's the prevailing theory. Now today, the Big Bang Theory, along with the theory of evolution, are the most widely held scientific explanations of why we are here today.
Clue.
That's generally accepted. That's what's being taught to our kids in school.
Yeah, because of the overwhelming evidence. So they teach the kids in school. The creationists like to think that they just pull things out of their rear end and teach them in school. The things
they
they
use our
teach in
tax
school
money
are
for it.
reason.
They're using our tax money to teach this stuff to our kids. They're not going to teach Christianity. They're not going to teach about Jesus. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I adopted my fundamentalist heritage there for a moment.
Hey, how you doing, Cardinal? Good to see you.
Hey, Cardinal.
And I understand why those who would reject God would this idea would appeal to them.
Once again, it has nothing to do with God. Lots of people believe in God and accept scientific theories, of which there are plenty. There are plenty of them. and they are accepted by Christians and other religious folks as well. This setting up that it's science against God thing is another misnomer. It's wrong. As Leo posted earlier, nope. You can believe in God all you want, and you still accept science, and you can still use the argument that God is using all the science. So just no, it's wrong. It's just trying to scare people away from science, as I like to point out, as they're using the internet, as they're using amplifiers and cameras and microphones and all kinds of things. Thank you, science. Isn't really bad mouthing science when you're using all kinds of science to make your shtick about bad mouthing science.
Because as we're going to see, it allows for there not to be a God. But there are some Christians who also believe this, though, that God created the universe through a Big Bang, that he was the cause of that. He snapped his fingers, there was a Big Bang, and then he used the billions of years of evolution in order to create you and I.
See, there you go. You can believe in God, you can still believe in evolution, and that God uses evolution. There's not a problem there. It is not an argument against God. Some people use it against God because, like I do with the Magic Zoo boat. You aren't going to have a magic zoo boat, but if you don't take these things literally, you can definitely have God and science. And Leo has a debate at 8 p.m. Central Time, so make sure you check out Leo.
What will happen to his second grade reading of Genesis if you start believing in old Earth evolution? I mean, he couldn't have his magic zoo boat and all the little animals going 2 by 2 and all hugging each other on the deck, none of that stuff. So you have to graduate.
We'll give you a wrench, Leo. You can post your own link that away.
Leo doesn't have a wrench.
Leo and Jimmy Bobby. Oops, wait a minute.
Leo not Jim Bob. No.
Yeah, Leo and Jimmy Bobby are debating tonight over at Taco's channel. There it is. So check out Taco's channel tonight after you leave here.
Jim Bob debates with facial expressions. That's how he does it.
I seen him debating Planet Peterson too, and
he makes
Planet
faces.
Peterson was chewing him up.
Yeah.
And thank you, Rochelle, for posting that. Appreciate it. Mighty Filbert, hello. Ryan, hello. Skeptic Philosophy Raid.
Where's the link? Oh, I gotta get the link.
Rochelle posted the link.
Where's the link? Where the fuck?
See, here you go.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, he was. Who had it up there? I think Owen or somebody had. Somebody was talking about priests up, and they had Jimmy Bobby. Jimmy Bobby is always entertaining. Yeah.
Does Leo have a beard now? Really? Leo has a beard like Jim Bob?
Leo had a thing on his chin there for a while.
Did he? I didn't know he was old enough to grow a beard.
Yeah, he's getting there.
Okay.
And I understand why that would be appealing to Christians, because what they're seeing is they hear the science and they don't want to be anti-science. They don't want to be viewed as if they only got half a brain and they're an idiot. They don't want to look at it as just.
But you have no problem going on stage and doing it.
That's the irony.
Yeah.
As a Brit, I really appreciate that comment.
They just have this blind faith, and so they're trying to blend the two together. The problem, though, with that, as we're going to see even more as we go on.
Yeah, that's, I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his notes straight, so.
No, but they do this so often, like calling science a religion and like saying, "Oh, you've got blind faith, that's bad." And then when they have blind faith, like then you're the best because you have blind faith in God. Like
Yeah, it's a virtue.
that
right.
is so two standards.
I think even the Bible says it's a virtue to have faith and not have facts or something like that. So then it's good. Otherwise, it's bad. So skeptic philosophy. Hello. Tons of mice. Hello. Everybody was skeptic. It looks like skeptic philosophy had something going on, and they're coming over from there. Thank you. Hope you had a good stream.
Is now you have direct contradiction with what the Word of God says. And so if Genesis 1:1,
the Bible has a direct contradiction to what God says. So I imagine
not just one.
You'd want to fix that first. Science and God really don't have a problem until it comes to creationists or people that really, are fundamentalists or something like that. People that are moderate have accepted science, and the church is a great example. The church has come a long way in saying, well, we'll take science and the Bible too and put them together.
No, but I think for the church that's mainly just a necessary evil, because like if they don't, like they will lose so many people because like there's certain things that you just can't hide anymore,
Right. That's where Ken Ham is his own worst enemy. He blames everybody for leaving the religion, but the top reasons people leave religion are the top reasons that Ken Ham pushes. So, he's his own worst enemy. So in a way, I hope he continues on, but I really don't like the disinformation. So it's one of those things that's really tough. Millions of people he's given disinformation. However, Dan Phelps had some good news that his school isn't doing so good. His numbers aren't doing so good. He still brings in a lot of money, though. So there are some people with some deep pockets that are hiding some money through his organization. But everything else, he's expanding, but his numbers are dwindling. So it is a question of, is he just going to be bringing the money through for rich people? Or is he really getting it all from, the people coming to see, which doesn't seem like it. And, how many times can you visit the world's biggest ball of string, right? I mean, okay, there's the boat, right? And okay, there's the signs. So, he's trying to bring some things in on the outside for entertainment stuff, but I don't think people are going to travel there for, just to witness something you can see on YouTube when he's charging, $50 a head to get in to see it. So we will see. He's lasted longer than me, than I said. I figured he'd get the 7-year itch. He's coming up on 10 years next year. Well, this year will be 10 years. So we can thank the families with a lot of money, though, I think, more than people visiting his attractions.
Yeah, I think I saw a thing where he was hyping some sort of $8 million matching contributions kind of scam. I don't know. It never appealed to me.
20 million. I don't know. 10 million?
10 million. Okay.
Well, it was
never
up to
really
10,
appealed to me to give this amount of money and we'll double it. That was never a motivator for me, but I guess it is for some people.
Yeah, and he keeps building new gates onto his ark and stuff like that. New entryway is what he's up to now, and they've got this.
They're wanting to do a kids museum, like a
kids museum
or something.
Just what we need.
Yeah, he is going after the kids big time to try to bring more people in. But they don't spend any money, so I don't think he really understands that. If you want to target kids, you want to target them with rides and stuff like that. They don't care about lectures and stuff like that.
Is that kids museum?
There,
that kids museum, is that kind of like the windowless white van?
Yeah.
The thing is, with this kind of P.T. Barnum kind of mentality of creating more sensational attractions and events, you have to get rid of some and then replace them with new ones. Otherwise, you're just paying for and maintaining all of these losing attractions at the same time trying to come up with winning attractions.
Hello,
So
Kevin. How you doing?
So I don't know. I think it's a bad idea if you're really trying to teach people with really meaningful life truths to follow the P.T. Barnum model.
Yeah, he's good at raising money, but he's not good at bringing in money. I think that's the big difference. And his numbers show it, and he can say all he wants. Dan releases numbers every month, and his numbers have not looked good. He's been doing pretty pathetic back to COVID numbers. So you don't want to be propping those up as your numbers.
His high school enrollment, I guess, is down too, or I wonder what it is, like 3 kids or whatever.
Yeah, he
big high
expanded
school he
his
opened
school.
up.
Right, he expanded his school to, excuse me,
K through 12.
Through K through 12, and it isn't doing that well. And that's what his big building was for, was school and media. And he hasn't been pushing the media. In fact, he's done away with some of the media, is doing away with the Answers in Genesis show that's been there since day one. So I really question what he's doing. Not to mention he wanted to put somebody else in charge and kind of retire a little bit. I mean, he's not a spring chicken anymore, and it seems like he's back front and center, and he doesn't have anybody to take over. I was going to bring that up, mention it. There was somebody there with measles. It's a terrible thing. I mean, first of all, your kid was sick and you took him on vacation. And second of all, you took him to some place where there's a lot of other kids. People just don't take these things seriously. And it is a serious disease.
And also, there's going to be a lot of other kids that are not vaccinated.
Right.
Let's add that one too. Because that's the big problem. Like if you go to a place where there's vaccinated kids, then it's like,
and Ken
great,
doesn't care either. Yeah, Ken doesn't care either. I mean, as long as they bought their ticket, that's all he cares about. So
yeah, he's probably old school, right? Where they say if you get measles when you're young, it can be a blessing because you can't get it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
1 or Genesis 1 isn't true, then what does that say about Genesis 2 or 3?
It says a lot. I mean, that's the problem with the Bible. If one thing isn't true, are the other things true? I mean,
yeah. Although they don't follow. It doesn't follow that just because Genesis 1 is wrong, that Genesis 2 is wrong, because they contradict each other anyway.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Right.
Yeah.
3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 and so forth. At which point does it become true? And again, Jesus,
Never, obviously.
He gave it some credence, is what I'm trying to say, basically, right? Is he acknowledged the validity of this book.
Where did he do that?
Jesus in that book
Where did Jesus do that?
Well, he says things about the flood and since the beginning there was Adam and Eve, and he knew the Old Testament. That's one of the stories, is that Jesus amazed the elders with his knowledge. So he somehow was given knowledge of the Old Testament, and
I don't know where he got that
that's
from.
held on high.
But he said those things, and then somebody wrote down what he said like 40 years later. Is that what happened?
Well, somebody said that he said that, but Jesus is never actually doesn't actually say things. Other people say things about Jesus. So there's a question as to whether Jesus entered, actually said those words. I'm sorry, I'm mixing Austin up. Entered. Did Jesus actually say these things? Did Jesus actually say anything? You go to the mythicists, and Jesus didn't even exist. So
Jesus should have turned on his body cam. That would have helped. That would have straightened a lot of things out.
And it's not good for a book if somebody's saying that this book is no good in the book. I mean, of course, if you're trying to sell a religion, especially, you're going to say that this book is right. So hello, Ape, how you doing? Good to see you. And I love the Snozberries. That movie has a great beginning.
Snosberry? I've never seen that one.
That's from Super Troopers.
Oh,
They get pulled over by the fuzz, so he eats everything, and then he starts tripping balls because he ate everything. He ate all the mushrooms and he ate all the weed, and he's having a good time all by himself. And then he's licking the when they put the plastic windows in the back, so he's licking the plastic windows, and they have all kind of things on them from a lot of people, and he's calling them snozberries. Yeah, if you haven't seen Super Troopers, the second one is just a moneymaker, but the first one for a B movie is hilarious. So definitely check out Super Troopers, especially if you like making fun of Fuzz and the job they're doing. Yeah, they definitely make fun of themselves.
Now, thankfully, I would say, as believers, we don't have to choose between our faith or science. That the two are not mutually exclusive. We can have both, but for reasons that we're about to see here, these theories that science are pushing, I don't believe hold any water. And that's what we're going to look at. But
somebody says snozberries are also from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So if you want to hear about snozberries, there's several movies that bring them up. I like when he's licking the cop windows, but yeah, I don't remember from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but I do like the movie. So I'll have to pay attention next time.
It was
Seems it was in more than one movie.
A book by Roald Dahl, I believe.
Originally from Willy Wonka, but that's what dude was quoting in Super Troopers. All right, then.
Yeah.
Now we got it straight. But I still like Super Troopers better. The beginning of Super Troopers is great.
I like Super Troopers. It's good.
He wigs those kids out, and the one kid, like I say, he eats everything, and he's wigging out. So then the guy hops in the car and he says, "You boys like Mexico?" And he starts ripping and roaring like they're gonna take off to Mexico. Dude's freaking out.
I like the part where the guy who told his friend to eat all the shrooms and weed turns to his friend while he's all tripping out, and he's like, "I'm going to need about $180 for all those."
You're going to have to pay for that, yeah.
And his friend thinks he's joking. He's like, "No, I need you to pay me for that.
I need you to pay for it." Yeah.
But I want to start with this little side note here about science. Science right now is being viewed as a religion. In fact, I would argue it is the dominant religion of our day.
Here we go.
Stop.
Go ahead.
This guy is trying to have the best of both worlds. He's trying to be a dogmatic presupposer of the existence of an all-powerful, all-knowing deity that created the universe, and he's trying to pretend like he's so skeptical that he just can't accept scientific theories at the same freaking time, which is so hilariously hypocritical and contradictory, but it's okay under his worldview. That, like he was saying, we can have religion and faith at the same time. We can have that because, like I've been saying, he presumes it's impossible that any part of God's world actually contradicts God's word. And we really have to start attacking that presupposition. Like, it's just attacking their belief in God isn't enough. There's that specific mechanism there that needs to be unraveled, and they need to be made more genuinely curious. This is not genuine curiosity we're about to hear from this guy, or genuine skepticism. This is denial. He has slanted
Christopher here
levels.
too. Saying hello to the Bigfoot family. Hey, appreciate the Bigfoot shout out.
He has slanted levels of skepticism and burden of proof. His burden of proof for his God presupposition is subterranean, but his burden of proof for any interpretation of any evidence in God's world that seems to contradict what he believes God's word is like through the roof. And that is not actually skepticism, it's denial.
Yep.
Yeah, look, I don't particularly mind when they say this, right? They're obviously referring to the old trope of scientism, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really bother me too much because, if anything, it just undermines their own position, right? Oh, yeah, I've got this religion which I don't have to think about. Oh, I could believe in science. That's fine, right? So, like, okay, yeah, I don't mind if laymen like turn around and go, yeah, but science has given us a hell of a lot, hasn't it? So, yeah, let's become a religionist of science. And if they don't understand, they don't understand. But at least they're not having this academic kind of, dispute where intellectualism becomes a bad thing, right? That's the main thing we're fighting, really, is that kids grow up thinking that being an intellectual is, a naughty word.
Right.
And if we could just normalize intellectualism as the standard for people, then I think we'd go a long way in this world to becoming more rational, and at least understanding that most information that humans learn is through the inductive process. We don't really learn through deduction. That's just the way we reinforce our views.
That's what bothers me, Simos, is the rejection of stuff. It just really bothers me. I mean, whether you like it or not isn't the point, It's you cannot
That's
like
why
some, but it's what it is,
That's why when I'm debating, I never bite on this. Science is a religion. Go, yeah, okay, well, that's your view. That's your view. I mean, first of all, it's a methodological system. It's not, it can't be counted as a religion anyway.
Yeah,
in
it's for
strict
sure an
sense.
equivocation.
But if you're referring to scientism, right? Okay, which is this made-up word by religions in order to try and slander, people that do science, right? Then okay, just go for it, because like I've got plenty of words that can slander your religion. So it's a magic man in the sky, right?
Well, fuck
So
yeah.
I mean, if that
you're
isn't
just gonna
doing
get
exactly the same thing that they're doing when they call it a religion, so
yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Plus, there is a colloquial definition of religion which it would apply to science.
Yeah. You'll just get labeled a typical Reddit atheist, is what will usually happen.
Yeah, like as I say, but there's a definition of religion which is different from worshipping a supernatural being, and that's not science. So okay, if you want to call it a religion like a football club, then fair enough. But I don't think that means an awful lot.
And I do agree that making intellectualism a priority for something that needs to be a part of the dominant culture, that needs to be transmitted more centrally. But I also see how there's people out there who are intellectual, but they are like not curious at all. And in their case, their intellectualism becomes one of the hurdles, not one of the things that's helping them. And so, I think intellectualism and education for sure is an important step. Like if I became a politician tomorrow, if like some magic happened and suddenly I had political influence, the first thing I would focus on is education. Like, don't get me wrong, but also the philosophy of it needs to be corrected. It's an incurious, irrational, illogical, credulous, or at least only performatively skeptical rather, framework they're using, and that needs to be corrected in the next generation, because most of them are too sunk cost. They're too deep into it to ever abandon it. Like most of them won't even question it, let alone abandon it. Like that's why Otangelo blocked me. He was like, nope, I'm feeling like I might have to question.
Amongst other reasons, is you beat him too badly as well. His ego's bruised. He's a narcissist, like many of us are. But I think also I think, is it Singer that we like on this channel, who says it's just a product of a lazy mind, and that's what we need to fight, right? It's these lazy minds that just don't care, but more than that, like denigrate people who don't have lazy minds, who are intellectually curious, right? And that pervades society, unfortunately, because there seems to be more of them than there are people that want to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and actually do the hard work to learn science in some sense, even if they're never going to use it themselves, just for the curiosity.
Yeah,
I think that's a
most
big thing.
people are not
And when
scientists.
let me just make one last point. I think that also, you know, there was a stage a few years back where there was this cult of the nerds, inverted commas, right, and where people that were intellectually curious were being praised
Yeah.
as being, you know, chic, right? Because they do things, and you know, it turns out that they were all, most of them were fraudsters, like Elon Musk or whatever. But nonetheless, you know, that was a step forward. But where that went, I have no fucking idea. Right.
Hello, Ryan, and hello. We got a big name here, so we're just gonna shorten it up to Muhammad. Hello, good to see you over there on Mike's channel.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was gonna say, geez, gosh, yeah, like there was a period where like intellectualism was seeming somewhat hip and chic and cool. And I remember that too.
Mm.
And a part of what I think young earth creationism and anti-vax and Holocaust denial, what all these different kinds of pseudoscience, science denial, history denial, pseudo-history, pseudo-archaeology, all of these things are really trying to do is they're a social effort to make anything but Christian authoritarian, or well, not even just Christian, but theist authoritarian nationalism seem ridiculous. Yeah. They want every other worldview except for that to seem silly compared to theirs. And understanding the presupposition makes sense of that, and it makes sense of a lot of their behaviors. Like, one thing it makes sense of is the fact that they make the same freaking arguments over and over again, no matter how many times they've been refuted, because in their mind, that doesn't make them bad arguments. They're still good arguments because they're the best arguments available to defend God's word, right? So even if that's a bad argument, it's a good argument because it's defending God. It's like how they assume they win every debate, no matter how bad they get stomped and have the floor mopped with them, because they're defending the word of God. So even if they do a bad job in the debate, or if they don't have a good epistemology compared to their opponent, it doesn't matter, because theirs is defending God. It's giving people an option that will help them stay faithful. It will help them ignore things that would challenge their faith or possibly attenuate it. And lots of people who are true theists explore that, and they say it deepens their faith, which is part of what makes them such cowards, the ones who deny it and run away from it. Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm a little more cynical than that, actually. I think that they're taking on the like the Christian apologetic logic in order to defend what they know are abhorrent views. So, like, as I say, on Christopher Mouty's channel, we go through such things as pseudoscience of race, right, and also other things like right-wing ideologies and things like that. And I think that that's where it's going. Right, the Christian nationalism is just becoming like larger, especially in the States, due to the fact that they want arguments that they think they can win on, and they know they can't win on these other arguments because they're abhorrent, right, and immoral as such, and they know that, so they hide behind a shield of pseudo-Christian beliefs.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
that's valid.
If you don't see someone's comments, Mike is also dual streaming, so we are on Answers in Atheism as well as on my channel, so it could be either way. And Ryan, you haven't seen me around much. I have been doing Saturdays. I haven't been doing my weekly show. I've just been tired. Many as you know, I've got a an illness I'm dealing with, and I'm just tired. So that's why you haven't seen me around, especially first thing in the morning on Chris's show. I'm dragging, so you won't see me there. But hopefully, I get some good news this week. I am getting some testing done this week, and I'm trying to maybe get a little help with chemo or something. They did give me a drug to pick my butt up a little bit because I told them I was dragging so much, but the pill they gave me just messed with my head, and they're going in the garbage. So we'll see. I do hope on getting back to my regular schedule, but I didn't plan on being diagnosed either. And Simos knows all too well too that sometimes the medical community interrupts with your streaming, so there's not much you can do.
Damn right. Yeah, damn right. I just put Christopher Mouty's channel there. We really appreciate the support. It's hard to get it going, and I think it's an important topic, debunking the pseudoscience of IQ and race.
Right there it is, the one you posted. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please subscribe to that. Again, it's an important topic that is becoming ever more prevalent in the States, trying to fight the right-wing Christian national right-wingers.
And Skeptic, Mighty Filbert put out my channel email should be on there. If not, he's at the Mighty Filbert at yahoo.com. You can get a hold of him.
I think I'm subscribed to you already, Simos. Are you talking about another channel?
Yeah, this is just literally one on the pseudoscience race.
Another
and
person's
IQ.
channel, yeah.
Okay, I'll go add that after the stream.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you sold me. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, Ryan, come over to my channel. So then you can see me. And somebody else, Mighty Filbert, I think, was talking about why I'm on camera. I'm on camera because
what's the question, Mohammed?
I like to come on camera, but a lot of the other folks here, Mike and Scott and
I can come
Austin,
on camera.
yeah, they're on camera a lot. Brainless isn't, and who's else? Scott hasn't been on camera lately, but Scott is on camera. He's very Snow White, so we have seen him. We have seen his cool hats. So you have to look around. Yeah, Mike's on. Mike comes on and off. So
yeah, but move me down so you can see Austin, because Austin is hidden behind the shit, and he's one of the people on camera.
You can see I have my periodic table, my table of polyatomic ions and atom charges, and my drawing of Princess Celestia that I did for my daughter for Christmas / her birthday, and all kinds of fun art and stuff behind me.
If you've got a question, Mohammed, go ahead and post your question. We'll try our best to answer your question.
Yeah, I saw he had a question. I'm curious what it is, because we've spoken before.
Don't be too curious. I've got it here.
Oh,
where is it? I just saw it. How will philosopher explain usually a man steals a woman for securities, for food, sex, and newborns and a big family? Anyone can answer. I think maybe English is not his first language.
Yeah, I'm confused by the question.
I'm thinking, how do you explain the patriarchy?
Yeah,
well, it still goes on today that there's a lot of sexism, and when you go back in time, there's just even more sexism. So, especially the holy books are thousands of years old. They're going to have a lot of sexism, and they were mostly, if not all, written by men. So you've got that leaning too of sexist men writing sexist stories, and especially in the Bible, women and children are property. So it's dehumanizing too. So, but things are getting better around the world.
Well, in the West here, specifically, when women are given bodily autonomy and their own rights, they actually turn out to be the people that institute the choices. So it's not so men It's not so much men steal women; it's that women give permission for the men to approach, and that happens when, as I say, women are given autonomy. So if you're in a country where that doesn't happen and men steal women, or their fathers have to give them away, then it just means you're from a culture which is not the most modern.
Thanks for stopping through, John. Always check out John if you want to see his work being done over there. He's quite a busy fella.
In my worldview, the history and ontology of human development has been the ever leaning trend from being solitary to being communal, developing the ability to cooperate instead of compete. So our evolution at the microbiological level has been defined by several instances of microorganisms developing the ability to cooperate instead of compete. Like, humans aren't just all eukaryote cells. There's a bunch of bacteria in us. There's a bunch of endosymbiosynthesized organelles in our cells whose DNA is technically not our own. You know, we're built by these genes that aren't a part of the primate lineage of our development. They're part of the microfauna level of development that's been playing out over the course of biodiversity. And it's also true on a physical level, kind of in the way our brains are set up. The reptilian stuff is at the center, the stuff that eats and fucks and breathes and sleeps, you know, all those autonomous things. And then on top of that is, you know, some level of awareness. Oh, there's movement in the bush, might be a predator. And then on top of that are the layers where you can have more sophisticated thoughts, more sophisticated interactions, and therefore more complex societies that have greater evolutionary advantage. And a lot of people have trouble getting over certain stages of that development, going from, you know, me thinking to us thinking, but almost there's a huge people that will never get past us versus them thinking. And that is the one that you really need to transcend in order to have a deeper view of the world and have more appreciation for all human beings existing on it.
Yeah, and also just to point out that in the ancient culture, women weren't seen necessarily as women. They were seen more as a deviant form of a man. And so they were discriminated against because of that reason more than they were discriminated against as just being women as such. So, yeah, I mean, you know, they were seen second class people, in other words.
Yeah, Hitchens talked a lot about how when you empower women, it improves the whole society. How that makes women a good benchmark, a good heuristic for how well your society is doing. In societies where women are oppressed, things are generally not going well. And here in America, women are definitely being oppressed right now in a lot of these states because of the reversal of Roe v. Wade. And yeah, it's not looking great. A woman was just killed in her driver's seat for reacting to two different demands. One demand to get out of her car and another demand to leave. And she said, okay, I'll leave because I shouldn't have my face thrown into the cement and get a bunch of, you know, charges that are bullshit and trumped up thrown at me by this fucking Gestapo police force. And so the one who told her to get out of her fucking car executed her and shot her in the face a bunch of times. And people are making excuses for it. You know, they say it's okay.
Yep.
It's horrifying.
And it's become all politics. And one of the reasons that I don't like to bring these things up is depending on what side you're on is how you see the videos. And it's really sad that these people are also picked for jury
How the hell does that work?
So, yeah, I mean, you've got the video now. Before we didn't have the video like we do nowadays. Let the video speak
multiple
for
angles.
itself, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From multiple angles.
As far
I'm
as
actually,
somebody,
I'm actually curious about the body cam footage.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's out. He calls her a fucking bitch after shooting her.
Yeah,
in
he
the
called
head.
her a fucking bitch after shooting, and
Yeah.
he was
Oh,
shooting.
yeah.
He was shooting through her side window, and
Yeah.
and that
also,
was.
He almost stuck his gun inside the car. I think he might have
Yeah.
stuck his gun a little bit into the car to make sure the bullet went into her head and killed her.
Yeah.
I've heard like in a video they had like responses from lawyers that defended police officers in shootings.
Yeah,
And one
I
said
saw
like
that.
with one shot he could have like might have been able to get away with it, but 3 shots. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, and
Yeah.
don't forget like later there was a bystander identifying himself as a physician. Can I let me through? I'm a physician. I want to help her.
yeah, they
No,
wouldn't let
they
him help
denied
her.
that.
Mhm.
So at
So
that
the-
point, you already you've lost your claim of self defense.
Oh yeah.
I saw the legal analysis, and here's the thing: if that was legal, what he did, then cops shouldn't have guns because those kinds of accidents can happen if that's the way the law reads, right?
and what happened to
And
shooting
so they
out
shouldn't
the
have
tire?
guns, huh?
You know, every movie you watch, they shoot out the tires. I mean, come
I
on,
know.
shoot out the tire. You aren't going anywhere. I mean, you ever try
Yeah,
to
but
drive
like
anywhere
he-
on flat
Well,
tires?
in his mind, the way this was supposed to go was he was supposed to say, "Get out of the fucking car," and then he
Yeah.
was going to drag her out of the car, slam her on the cement, arrest her, claim that they were, obstructing federal agents,
Yeah.
throw whatever charges at her they think they can stick, which is a dual purpose action. It's to attack them to get money from them and possibly subvert their rights, and 2, the way structured immunity or whatever it is works. As long as they charge you with something, you can't charge them. You can't say this person violated my rights and file charges against them in response. And so they do it to cover their own asses. She obviously realized this would happen. I think most Americans go throughout their days with the knowledge that this can happen at any time, that a cop can just fucking throw you on the ground, try to decide that you are, guilty of a crime, and basically ruin your life if it is within their whims to do so. And she panicked in the moment because she heard conflicting instructions. That guy telling her, "Get out of the fucking car," and somebody else saying, "Leave." And so she tried to leave, and he executed her, and his body cam was still on. So afterwards, he says, "Fucking bitch," because in his view, she made him kill her.
After
She
he
made
shot her.
him kill her by not just letting him drag her out of her car and fuck her up, because
He's
that's the
definitely
way
got
it's supposed
issues.
to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple of things. It wasn't a body cam; it was a phone he had in his
Yeah.
other
Yeah, it
hand.
was a phone. Yeah.
And also, the first shot was he was still in front of the car, and I think unfortunately that's what will get him off.
So this guy's name is Jonathan Ross, by
But
the way. Everybody
two-
should know
two
his
Oh,
things.
name.
you want his
Hang on,
address?
hang on,
You
hang
want
on,
his
hang on.
address?
Hang on,
You
hang
you
on,
got his
got it?
address?
hang on.
Give it to
Two
me
things-
in
Oh, fucking
private
yeah.
chat.
Hang on. 2 things to say about that is, firstly, there is in his training, in the training manual, there's something that says don't walk in front of a car,
Mhm.
right? So that's one thing he's broken in his training.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is the fact he could get out the way without shooting.
Yeah.
And I think those 2 things, although are mitigating circumstances,
He did what
they're
he
not.
was supposed to do.
Hang on. They're not going to be enough to get him off a murder charge.
He did what he was supposed to do. He's supposed to be an enforcer and collect money for the state. And so getting in
Yeah.
front of her car was the right thing to do, because then it clears him of the action that he's allowed
Yeah.
to take after that to make sure she stays there so they can slam her on the pavement and make a bunch of money off her.
That's
Yeah, no,
gonna
I
be
think
the
there'll
next
be-
protest is if he gets immunity or not.
I think he
Oh.
he won't suffer criminal charges, but I
Yeah.
think he will be taken into a civil case. I think
But,
he should
but
be
he
taken
will
to civil
suffer.
case.
He will suffer.
And
Hopefully.
And his
let's
family,
go-
like
let's-
everybody knows who he is. Like,
Yeah, let's get
like,
off
they
of this
gotta
because
move. They
we
gotta
can go
move.
all night. And
Yeah, so Brainless,
it's been on
read
every
private chat.
channel, and they're
Yeah.
going through it. And I'm of the mind with any of these things is wait until things get sorted out, because protests aside and everything, if he gets immunity, there's not much you can do. Like Simos
you know
said,
what's
it'll
weird?
probably go to civil, and we won't have
You know
to
what's
deal with
weird,
criminal.
Dave? When things get sorted out, we never hear about it anymore.
Yeah, you don't.
I think you'll hear about this one.
Yeah, this
The-
one.
the
Yeah,
main
it's
thing
already spread to all the other cities.
is going to be the criminal. Yeah.
It's
Hello,
another
Tori.
George-
How you doing?
And it happened. It happened a few blocks away from where George Floyd happened, which is ironic.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm. And we also have a Tekken fan in here.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Leo's still around. Hello, Leo. Flew through the driver's side. Yeah, we've all seen the videos. So anyway, let's get back to this video and Mr. Bunhead and see what he's got to say, because yeah, these kind of things are very ugly. There's a lot of protests going on. A lot of people are turning into something political, and this just ain't a political channel, or we could go all night talking about this, and all week and all month. And so let's get back to Man Bun and see what he knows about science.
Well,
Think
I
about-
want to
think
end,
about how it's
we
being-
can end that portion just by saying freedom is better than tyranny. And if you're somebody who
yeah.
believes the opposite, you really need to take a deep, hard look at yourself.
Things are out of hand, and that needs to be corrected. So, agreed.
Used. I mean, essentially, it's being worshipped as some kind of deity. And then
No,
the
it's not.
scientists become the priests that deliver the word upon high.
No,
about this is what science.
This is what I'm talking about with
The
the broken
creationists are
filter.
doing
In
this.
their worldview,
Yeah.
that's true. In their
Yeah.
worldview, that must be what's happening, because it's impossible for the evidence to actually, from God's world, to actually contradict God's word. This is, oh man, now that I have had that epiphany, I feel like it's going to keep coming up over and over again, because the
Oh, yeah.
broken filter is the problem.
Yeah, as
You
far as
are the
getting far
problem,
into the
guy.
video.
You are the problem, not
we
the
rarely do.
evolutionist professors. It's you, buddy. You're the
If-
problem.
If you want to see us dissect a video, check out the 7 hours that Simos and I put in to dissecting a video. Otherwise, we don't dissect a whole lot of videos. So you're not going to hear a lot of new things on this show. What you're going to see and hear is people making their own observations of these things. But like this guy here, he's claiming he knows science. He's claiming he has science degrees, but he doesn't
right,
seem to remember any of it.
Let's let the scientists talk some more.
Oh yeah, he's
Sorry.
one heck of a good scientist. Let me tell you, he doesn't even know what a theory and a law is. So
Yeah.
I mean, that should be
Right.
enough to tell you that he's not much of a scientist, and he's not. He's an engineer. Now, engineers, it is a form of science, but they don't do a lot of science. They do a lot of math. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And engineers are not doing a lot of science unless they're working on some like in a nature preserve or something. They're building a bridge, and there's not a whole lot of nature on the bridge. So,
Well,
it is what
in
it
the
is.
US, think about the average person. Does the average person ever even meet a real scientist, even
That's what I was
once in
saying.
their life?
Most
That's what
people
makes
are not
people like
scientists.
this. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
makes people like this especially bad, because he's coming
Most-
with the scientific veneer. And so if he is the only scientist that a bunch of people in his audience will ever actually meet, then yeah, he's
Mhm.
doing a lot of damage.
Ed's taken off. He's going to do his own stream. He's talking about Wes Huff, who's I don't know, very questionable about Wes Huff.
Overrated.
Yeah, there's a good word. But go check out Rabid Atheist for a perspective from a former pastor. Of course, when you're done watching it here. But definitely subscribe to the Rabid Atheist. It's let's see, what do we got here? Resist Oppression says it's all math. LOL. Yeah, in a way that's true, but for practical purposes, like I say, most people are not scientists. Most people do not specialize in a science, even if they are scientists. So they may do one thing, but they don't have a clue about other things, and they should stay in their own lane. And what you've got is engineers who pretend to be scientists in every field, and it's just not possible. Even if you talk to a scientist, they won't say that they know jack about other fields because they don't study them. And you ask any of them, it requires a lifetime of study to be a specialist. And these guys just aren't specialists. And Man Bun here is only interested in communicating with his young audience and making them laugh. He's not interested in taking anything across. And this, against engineering, I've got nothing against engineers, but they need to stay in their lane. And their lane is not science, because most of them do not even work with science. So let's just be honest. Just because you've got a degree along with your name doesn't mean you know jack. Okay? And you got to admit that to yourself. To be a good scientist is that you don't really know, and that you should investigate before you make your conclusions, like this guy on stage is doing, making conclusions before he's done any science at all, before he can even remember what basic terminology means.
I have thoughts. I want to weigh in on this, please.
Go ahead.
So, somebody's credentials don't actually directly correlate to how trustworthy they are. There are people with PhDs and master's degrees and even Nobel Prizes who have said some idiotic shit that's just straight up wrong, and you can easily verify how and why it's wrong, and they still keep saying it. So somebody's credentials don't necessarily make them a trustworthy source in that way. But it is more likely that if somebody has studied and put a lot of work into their ideas, that they're more coherent, they're more comprehensive, they are usually better, at least a little bit better.
At least looked at their notes.
Yeah. But when it comes to grading the credibility of actual experts, I do have some recommendations on that. Like, I have a criteria that I use, and it's like, are they published is one thing that increases the likelihood of somebody's credibility. If you've added published work to the peer-reviewed corpus of primary scientific literature,
who cited those?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That I was going to get into that. How old it is, how often it's been cited, the opinion of your peers, that matters too. But publishing is one. Do you teach the subject? Have you taught, at universities? Do you teach chemistry? What do you teach? And do you teach what your degrees are something like, if you actually have multiple degrees, it does make you a little more trustworthy. And there's criteria that I think you should take into account,
and ultimately fact check everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm taking this criteria. I'm using basically Sam Vaknin's criteria. He's a psychologist. He's an expert on cluster B personality disorders, but he also talks a lot about self-styled experts, and there's a lot of them on the internet, people who are abusing what credentials they have, or straight up confabulating or making up credentials. I've met a bunch of those kinds of people. Like, for instance, I met a lady who claimed she was a geologist. No, she has an Etsy store where she sells rocks. It's not the same thing as a geologist. Another guy claimed he was an aerospace engineer. No, he works in marketing at a vacuum company. He went to school for some physics, but that doesn't make you an aerospace engineer. And that's the case a lot, is they're taking some real thing and confabulating it into something else. Like, one of the most crazy ones I met is a guy named Jimmy Overbeck and his wife Susie Overbeck. And Jimmy claims to be the world's highest IQ, and that British secret intelligence hid the fact that he's a world's highest IQ. He's basically his whole little backstory that he's given for himself is the plot of the TV show Chuck, if you've ever seen it. And I pointed that out to him once, and he said, "Shut the fuck up." And and in reality,
Orgy, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, he says he's a BBC documentarian, a brilliant mathematician, the world's highest IQ. He's never done any math. I've looked at his math; it's garbage. His art is garbage, and what he really is actually he's just a guy trying to start a sex cult, and he has had a couple of victims and had to be kicked out of England and now lives in Italy because he keeps trying to start a sex cult. And his whole cult, yeah, it's hilarious. He claimed to be a BBC documentarian. He just makes videos with his wife for YouTube, with him ranting about how he actually went to hell and came back, and it made him theologically advanced, and now he's, oh my gosh, it's insane. And it's an example of how what actually the reality is he talked to somebody from the BBC once about possibly making documentaries, and they said, no, we're not interested. It never happened. So they take a real thing and they embellish it to the point of lying, is basically what a lot of them are doing. I don't know this guy. I'm for sure going to have to check his name and his credentials and stuff after this. He says he's an engineer. We'll put that to the test a little bit. I'll get some information.
That's as far as I went. I didn't go looking because he said he had a degree in engineering, and that kind of ended it right there, because most creationists seem to have a degree in engineering. So,
well, yeah,
Go
I mean,
ahead,
it's like it's like the time. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but I'm an expert on Bose-Einstein condensates, which may surprise you. But I spent at least 3 years in an ice cream van, so I think that says a lot.
Look out!
Chris Langan,
Chris Langan, he had his 15 minutes of fame. The guy in his garage that has it all figured out.
He's a great example of
embellishing. What's his name?
Kim, the Korean guy.
Well, Michael said that now he might have overturned Einstein in his shed, but probably not. You know,
you
get a lot of emails and letters from people that I've got it all figured out. Well, you can't say they didn't figure it all out, but they probably didn't. And Stop the Stupidity is dropping the green.
Wow!
Thanks, Stop Stupidity. Gifted 10 captive desk memberships, going out to Tori, Jason, Hillhugger, Sydney. There's some good ones. Druzilla's, Objective Ethics, Tubian, Robin Hood. There's some great names in there. Liz Allen, Christopher Blante. Those are some great names. Thank you, Stop the Stupidity. And Stop the Stupidity. You know what you get. You get a Bigfoot.
You rock, let's rock with the fire in our veins. Rock on to the skies, to the thunder and rain. All hail Bigfoot, the legend, the king. He walks among shadows, the wild spirits sing.
Thanks for supporting the channel, Stop the Stupidity. Everybody that got the captive desk memberships, don't forget, you can join the channel now, and you can get a free membership too if you've clicked on those 3 dots to allow free memberships. And along with that comes all the great emojis that we've got to use.
Yeah, let's see those emojis. Let's see those emojis in chat.
Yeah.
We'll run through the emojis while we're at it. We got.
I had a lot of thoughts.
The Mothman. We've got the Magic Zoo Boat. We've got Bigfoot, spreading some love. We've got the Yeti. We've got Bigfoot's footprints. We have got the Dogman. We have got the Bigfoot alien crossover that is sharing some love. We've got the Vulcan hand sign for live long and prosper. We've got the alien giving a peace sign. We have our own version of spooky, because who doesn't love a good ghost story? And we love spooky too. So it's a win-win. My favorite sea monster is the Luska, half great white, half squid. I mean, you can't beat that. And we have also Answers in Atheism on toast and some Spirit Away. If you just can't get rid of those spirits, there's a picture of all the emojis. You can definitely jam out with us and use all those emojis. Thank you, Stop the Stupidity, for sharing them. Thanks everybody else for using them. Feel free to use them as much as you want in the chat. It's all good by me. And we love them all. I prefer the Bigfoots, but we also have the answers and the Spirit Away and the non-answers like the Magic Zoo Boat, all coming together here at Captive Desk. And thank you again, Stop the Stupidity. You rock. Thanks for supporting the channel.
Yeah, so I can sum my thoughts up a little more efficiently, I think. Judging whether or not somebody has degrees and teaches in a field, if they work in a relevant field, if they have published peer-reviewed literature in a field, those sorts of things are a good heuristic. But it is possible to meet people that check all those boxes and suck. And it's possible to meet people who don't check any of those boxes and are very good sources. Like, I think Mike is an excellent source. He's not published in the peer-reviewed corpus of literature yet, but he probably will be soon, I think, with the stuff he's doing with the second chromosomal fusion and just sifting and shoveling through genomic data on your own as an interested layperson is freaking amazing. So I find him a very reliable source, even though he doesn't teach. He's not, like, I don't think he has a college level degree, but he's clearly studied the subject well enough to talk about it proficiently and to defend his views on it. And I consider him a fantastic source. So use the system wisely. Don't think just because somebody has all kinds of degrees and credentials that they are trustworthy, or the opposite is true, that because somebody doesn't have 14 PhDs that they're not trustworthy. Just listen to their arguments and evaluate their merits.
Yes.
And
if they're
look
not
at the
willing
evidence.
to accept that they're ever wrong on anything,
For sure.
that's a big red flag right
Look
there.
at their methods too. Yeah.
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 Wonder what else he's got. Here we go.
It says. And if you reject that, if you go against that, you're claimed to be a heretic of some sort, and you need to be silenced and cast out, and we need to hold on to what is the orthodox view of what science has to say. And so we see that today, especially with political debates now, being seemingly won or lost on statements such as, I believe in science, or I'm just following the science.
You do believe in science and you do follow the science. Like I pointed out, you're online, you're on YouTube. Yeah. You're using a camera and microphone and lighting and all things. Thank you, science. Nobody prayed for any of those. So,
I think
give them a little bit of credit at least.
Yeah, but I don't think people say that. I believe in science. People say I trust in science.
Yeah,
that's something completely different.
Yeah,
if they learn something new tomorrow, they learn something new tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like believe and trust, from his point of view, are very, very closely related. Epistemology, right?
And putting on my creationist hat, I know what they would say to that. They'd say, "Oh, we trust science works, but that doesn't mean molecules evolved into fish, which evolved into men."
And as Mike would say, they use the same science.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
which parts of it don't you like? And then that question they can't answer. Just like, what page in the science book do you like and which page do you not like? You can't separate them.
They'll
it all
answer it
uses the
when they
same
think they're
means.
talking to a theist. When they think they're talking
Oh,
to a
sure.
fellow theist, they answer, and the answer is, if faith and evidence conflict with each other, you go with your faith in God's word, because God's word is eternal and unchanging, and all the ideas of man are provisional and temporary. Which, yikes, I definitely consider that a feature of the scientific approach instead of a bug. Is the fact that it's provisional and temporary, and that if we get better evidence, we improve and update. For some reason they think it's an advantage to not ever improve and update.
Right.
It's bizarre.
Well, that's what Drusilla says, following the science like a sheep. They're all too proud to follow things with no evidence. They're even rewarded by God for believing in things with no evidence. So it's ironic listening to them. Go ahead, Simos.
Well, it goes back to the same thing we were talking about earlier, Austin, which is, they rely on deductive reasoning, which at best, it usually turns out to be circular in their case. And they just refute anything that's learnt through induction because it's not certain. And yet, when they come to their own beliefs about their religion, they're quite happy to say, well, we doubt, doubt's part of it. Yeah. So, you can't get much more hypocritical than that, I don't think. When they turn around and say, yeah, but I believe it on faith, so you can't challenge it. That's just obscuring the fact that they don't have a reason to believe it. Yeah. And when they do say they have a reason, of course, they're referring to pure deduction. They're not referring to induction at all. And as we know, science is really a process of induction, or at least good science is. Maybe the hypothesis is
some of them will admit it.
Certainty and Moondog are both in the chat. Hello, welcome.
Some of them will say, "Yeah, I go with faith. I go with faith over my faith in God's word over whatever evidence somebody can bring me."
It depends how they're using the word, Austin. I mean, that is such a broad word. You can have faith in things that are scientific. It's how are you using the word, right?
Yeah, and absolutely. A lot of them will equivocate a lot too, but will still ultimately be saying, yes, you go with your faith in God's word when the evidence conflicts. And they do different ways. A lot of them are like this guy and Rebecca Davis. They use the pseudo pedantry. They act like they're skeptics, really investigating, but all of their investigations end up at their starting point. So it's pretty curious how you can investigate things and say,
absolutely, they want to
thing.
They want to be evidentialists, but they can't. They have to use when it comes down to it, they're still using deductive arguments, which are non-evidential. So I mean, I think it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing how they switch or they equivocate on exactly these words: religion, exactly on these words: faith, trust. Right? I mean, these are all like the little get-me-outs that they switch at the end between saying, no, I'm using an evidential argument. Here's the evidence for this. It's an abductive argument to the best explanation. And yet, when it comes down to it at the end, they put it in terms of a deductive argument. And they switch just at the last moment by using these words. And I find it quite amusing in some ways, but that's why I don't bother. If they want to call science a religion, that's fine. I don't care because I go, okay, well, you mean the definition is the colloquial definition. Like, I go to McDonald's once a week. That's a religion, Okay.
But what they're ultimately doing there, Simos, and I'm sure you know this, is they're trying to act like our epistemologies are standing on even footing, and that is absolutely not the case. Ours is way superior to theirs.
That's right. But at the same time, why argue that point? Why not just go to the epistemology and say this is the problem with your epistemology?
Yeah.
But obviously a lot of them don't even understand what epistemology is. So,
I'm not sure Austin's down there, but he is on other ones. Make sure you check the description, though, if you're looking for panelists. We've got most of the panelists, where they're at and what they're doing in the description, as well as we've got Bree a great friend of the channel, a great cryptid lover, and has a cryptid store with, you can get t-shirts and hats and all kind of stuff with cryptids on. Make sure you check it out. If you're going to get his t-shirt, you might as well get it from Bree. There's also a link to help out Ember with her medical bills, and there's a link for the featured video in its complete form if you want to check that out. So make sure you check out the description while you're down there. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the comment when we're done here. Leave us a comment. If you've got a question, you can always leave a question. And don't forget, we've got memberships, as many have showed here and are showing off their emojis. You can become a member of the channel, get emojis, get early access to videos. As soon as I get my stuff together here, I hope to have a member stream coming up. And we also have the Grassman Chronicles, where I specialize in cryptids, where I also include aliens and ghosts and anything otherworldly that you heard a bump in the night but can't quite explain. And if you've got a story, I would love to hear it. You can email me at allhailbigfoot@gmail.com. Tell me about it. Maybe we'll have you on, have you tell your story, just like Missing Mod did with the Dog Man. And it's my most watched video. So if you want to know about the Dog Man, you can always click on that and learn about the Dog Man. And that I had messages from people even overseas about the Dog Man. So, don't be afraid to contact me. Many of people have given me ideas for cryptid stories too. I do make notes of them. I will come to them eventually. I've done a couple that Bree gave me, and Big Bad Mama gave me, and there's some other ones in there from YouTube, and from Joe, and from Deconverted Man. A lot of people are giving me leads, giving me names of things I haven't heard of. I do make notes of them, and stay tuned for those. Those might come around too. So if you enjoy cryptids like I do, check that out. I've also got one about, have you heard about Taco's song about Mod's Dog? Yeah, Taco had Mod on too as well, talking about the Dog Man. He brought it up a couple of times. Good deal. If you enjoy cryptids like I do, make sure you tune in. The next one coming up, I've got just about ready, is on the Loveland Frog, because I'm not carefully. Anyway, whatever the word is, I've been specifying, I guess, on the Ohio cryptids lately. That's Ohio in the United States. And we're trying to get through those. I've got a couple more, and then we will get back to some of these suggestions that have been really terrific. So thanks to all of you that participate and have been on the show and given me ideas and given me some jokes too along the way. I appreciate it all.
So the Dog Man is like a Mothman style cryptid, right?
Nobody's really sure. There's different stories. There's different colors. It's one of those things that seems to have started in Michigan, but now it's spread to the South Coast and overseas even. So maybe the Dog Man hitched a ride too and got overseas. England seems to have a lot of cryptids. Of course, a lot of the older countries have a lot of cryptid stories. So we have touched on stuff in the UK and Japan and stuff like that. So if you are into the older countries and their stories, they have a plenty, especially cryptid stories. So yes. And I hope to have that out soon. As some of you know, I've been dealing with some health issues. So some of my stuff has been put on hold. I've been trying to be here every Saturday and work on my other shows in between, and they will come out when they're done. I was on steroids last week, and I got a lot done on the story, so I just got to finish watching it, and I can put that out. You just have to forgive me. I've been dragging. A lot of the drugs got me dragging. I'm sure Simos can relate about dragging. And you're just dragging. You can't pick your butt up, and you're like, hey, forget making a video. I got to take care of my own butt today. So, that's what we've been doing. So if you haven't seen us a whole lot, that is why our health, but we are working on it. so that we can come and visit with you. Right, Simos?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm still eating too much because of the steroids.
They do give you the munchies, don't they?
Oh my god.
I want to say this before I lose it because it's complicated. The philosophy of science is based on fallibility. It's based on the idea that you literally cannot absolutely prove something. There is always the possibility that you're wrong. So that's part of what makes saying, oh, what is the scientific proof of evolution, kind of a silly question, because that's not how science works. Proof isn't a thing in science. That's a thing in alcohol and statistics and things like that. In science, you have provisional ideas, and that is a feature of our worldview. It's because you cannot absolutely prove something. The second best thing is being completely unable to prove something that is falsifiable. So we make bold predictions that have falsifiable implications, and we test those falsifiable implications. And if we manage to get data that is coherent, it's congruent with those novel testable predictions, then it is a strong indicator that we can have confidence in a theory or model or framework. And that is how science works. And it ends up producing a worldview that's always falsifiable. And they see that as a weakness instead of a feature. I see it as a feature. I see it as a strength. And I just don't know how to get people to realize how that's superior when they don't just accept the obvious logic of being curious is better than being incurious, being rational is better than being irrational, logical is better than illogical, skeptical is better than credulous, being informed is better than not being informed. You know, I want to hear everything. I want to hear all the arguments. I want to see all the evidence and make my own choice. And a lot of people get this religious framework from people like this, where you get everything you need from an authority and you don't question that authority and things work fine. And that's how cults get started.
Tori says it's been dealing with shingles. Those suck. I got my shot. Hopefully they don't come around here. Yeah, it is tough when you're ill to try to do anything, even take your dog out, even take yourself to the bathroom. I mean, I've held it because I just didn't feel like going to the bathroom. I mean, that's how lazy you can feel, you know, where you're sitting there in your own house and you're holding it. I hope you get better soon, Tori.
Yeah, I hope I said everything I meant to say in that. I was sitting there thinking about it, and it's so hard to organize my thoughts on this sometimes. Yeah.
I do this every week.
Yeah.
Especially to science people.
Science. And somehow they make those statements as if they are the closing argument.
Now we know the age of his audience.
Well, let me tell you something about myself. I have multiple degrees. I have 2 degrees in science.
Here he goes.
I have a master's of applied science or bachelor's of applied science and a master's of applied science from the University of Waterloo, one of the most respected engineering schools.
I need to write that down. Can you slow that down for a second there?
He's got two degrees from Waterloo, the most respected engineering school around or in the country or something like that. He's got a master's and a
bachelor's and
a bachelor and a master's. Yeah.
Applied
science
from Waterloo.
Yep, engineering school in Waterloo. Engineering school, not science school. Engineering school.
Okay, so
and nothing against his degree. I'm not picking on him, but he should stay in his lane, you know.
On the checklist of credibility, that is somewhat an increase in credibility. The fact that he has a degree, it's not as good as it could be, like you say, Dave, as if it were in a relevant field like evolution or biology or biochemistry.
It is a good engineering school, but again,
it's Waterloo,
he's not building,
Ontario. Okay.
Yeah, he's not building a bridge or a dam or a highway. He's talking about evolution, and I don't think they talked a lot about evolution at the engineering school. And hello, Al, how you doing, by the way?
Applied science is going to be classical, right? So it's going to be electronics. It's going to be, like materials, things like that. It's not going to be astrology. It's not going to be cosmology. It's not going to be evolution. It's not going to be astrophysics. Right, it's not going to be none of those things. It's not probably quantum physics either.
Yeah, circuitry, math.
It's going to be classical physics.
Al says it's a good school for what it does, so he's vouching for the school. I'm not knocking engineers. We need engineers, but I don't think an engineer should be in front of a church group telling people what's wrong with the Big Bang or evolution when they think a theory becomes a law. So I mean. He's just not qualified to be on stage talking to anybody. That's our problem with most creationists, is that they're talking about things they're not qualified, or they're directly fibbing like the higher ups of these organizations.
Hang on a minute, Austin. If he started with some caveats to say, I have these degrees, so like I'm not an expert in these fields, but the research I've done on it, ... So take this with a pinch of salt, but I believe it's like this. Go and check it yourselves. Maybe we could give him a pass on it, right? But the fact he has no epistemic humility on these subjects when he's clearly not been trained in them is a little disappointing. And that seems to be, he seems to be setting himself up as an authority if he doesn't say and it doesn't put those caveats in.
I was going to say, if he said, "Oh, I have a bachelor's and master's in applied science, and here's what evolution it's a quantifiable, falsifiable, possible solution. There's lots of evidence that fits the framework. Blah blah blah." If he was saying things about evolution and biology that were correct, I would be like, okay, you're more credible than somebody who doesn't have a degree and who's saying wrong things. But because he has a degree and he's saying wrong things about a field the degree isn't in, it almost makes him even less trustworthy, because it tells you that he is of that mindset where, he has looked at things and decided his filter can justify keeping a broken map and reinterpreting that evidence. It's a pretty strong clue. It's quite a red flag.
I will stand corrected. What Michael has to say about one of my engineering classes was basically, here's a clever way evolution has solved this problem and how we can use it. I say, but they don't concentrate on evolution. But mentioning it, that's a good thing. Thank you very much. Mick Time, hello for joining us. And if you didn't hear me, Al, hello, Al. Good to see you.
So one of the things evolution has contributed to many fields of science that don't seem directly related to it is that you can emulate it. It's been a big contribution to computer science and simulation theories. It's been a big contribution to things like engineering and design by imitating evolution or things that evolution has produced, like natural forms that are very aerodynamic.
That you're not going to get a lot of engineering out of, and that's the Magic Zoo boat. And I think I'm going to play the Magic Zoo boat because I've got to take 5, gentlemen. So you and the audience enjoy Magic Zoo boat and use the facilities. Get yourself a drink in the next couple of minutes, whatever you got to do. And we'll see you on the other side of the song.
Just sit right back and you'll hear the tale of a righteous float that started out in ancient times upon a magic zoo boat. The rain began to pour like mad, God's judgment didn't stall. If not for Noah's floating crate, there'd be no life at all. No life at all. No life at all. If Noah and his ancient beard, his wife just rolled her eyes.
They boarded raptors, stegosaurs too, all trained to sit and stay. 2 T-Rexes in bunk bed stalls, what could go wrong, we say? 3 sons with wives who taught the dinos how to harmonize. Who taught the dinos how to harmonize? There's gators, frogs, and woolly mammoths, zebras sharing beds, triceratops and kangaroos stacked 10 high on their heads. The ark was built with cubic math and doors that sealed with prayer. You ask about sanitation, don't go there. Just don't go there. Just don't go there. So come aboard this sacred ship where science hits a wall. With creatures from all continents, pre-flood we had them all. The timeline's tight, the logic light, the rain began to float. And now you're on a bumpy ride aboard the magic zoo boat. The magic zoo boat. The magic zoo boat. The magic zoo boat. Unicorns dashed to catch the ark, but tripped on fairy tales. They stopped to charm the woodland elves and slipped through magic veils. Their horns aglow, they missed the boat, no place for their parade. Now stuck in myths and bedtime dreams where fantasy should stay. Where fantasy should stay. But what about old Sasquatch? Did Bigfoot make the trip? Was he too hairy, tall, or shy to board that wooden ship? He maybe hid behind the trees or snuck in with the apes, or rode the flood out on a log. Or rode the flood out on a log. Don't fall for tales of magic boats or creatures 2 by 2. Get smart, ask questions, that's the best thing you can do. Education shines the light that clears the myths away. So keep your mind wide open and learn what's true today. Learn what's true today. Learn what's true today. Hey, with Skipper Noah at the wheel and wife supreme with nerves of steel. 3 sons with 0 sail and flare. Their wives who brought salon gray hair. 2 rhinos juggling on the deck and Bigfoot hiding near the wreck. Here on the magic zoo boat. Here on the magic zoo boat. Here on the magic zoo boat.
Woo! Love that song. He's still not back. Dave, where are you?
Let me turn my things back on. Maybe you can hear me. All right.
Oh,
What's
yeah,
up,
that
guys?
would be useful.
I hope you enjoyed that video. I enjoy it every time. And stop the stupidity. It says it get captive desk memberships, 5 more, going out to Michael Narum. Or is that? Yeah, that's Michael Narum. Scientific Origins, which is Austin's channel. Spooky Bed Hair. Madam President Piggy. And Greg. There you go, Greg. Got yourself a membership. Please use those emojis that have come along with the membership. And congratulations. Thank you, Stop the Stupidity. And Stop the Stupidity, you know, you rock.
Scientific Origin.
You rock, let's rock with the fire in our veins. Rock on till the skies, till the thunder and rain. All hail Bigfoot, the legend, the king. He walks among shadows, the wild spirits sing.
Thank
One
you,
of the
Stop the
coolest
Stupidity,
stuff.
you rock. Thanks for supporting the channel. And yeah, Austin, I think you nabbed one on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was talking my channel up a little bit and talking about how Scientific Origins is one of the coolest freaking things in science. Big Bang
Yeah. And
and
make sure you're
cosmos
subscribed
and
over there. We'll
galaxies
get you.
and meteors and energy and entropy and living systems and brains, the substrate of the mind, the substrate of all reality, and the quantum field of the universe. It's freaking rad. It's such a cool thing, and it's so easy to be excited about it. And one of the most disappointing things about these people is they're not excited about it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Is that's the name is Scientific Origins?
Yes. Yeah.
I'll put you in the description.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
As soon as I punch it up here. Sorry, I'm a one finger typer, so.
Yeah, I don't worry too much about not having buttloads of subscribers and views and all that stuff. My goal is just like I said earlier, like I realized most people won't ever meet a real scientist at any point in their life. And you know what? I work in a scientific field. I sometimes teach this subject. I've almost got a degree in the subject. I'll be a graduate student in the subject soon. I've never contributed to the primary corpus of scientific literature, but that's what I'm citing. And when I cite it, I'm citing correctly, and I'm agreeing with the authors. I'm agreeing with their peers' interpretations of that work. And so in that level, I think I am credible. And the zone is flooded with all these non-credible people who, like Simos was saying, way overrepresent their credibility. And so, like, it's oversaturated. There's so much of it. So any amount contradicting it is good, especially if you can do it at least somewhat well. And I think I do. And I know you do, Dave. And I know Mike does really well, too.
We try. And make sure you, Austin's being humble, but make sure you go and check out Austin's channel. Let me add it in the description here.
I don't have a lot of animations. I put very little money and resources into the channel because I realize that, just talking about things is perfectly sufficient for a lot of these matters. Just giving people information and giving them a process with which to evaluate and unpack it is plenty.
Okay, Austin is added to the description, so we always appreciate Austin stopping by. And thank you everybody in the chat for subscribing around. Appreciate it. And S-Dog is in here. I got to honor Carl Sagan and hit the bong. Absolutely. Always honor Carl Sagan.
I have his book, The Demon Haunted World, sitting right here.
There you go. Tori says she is dealing with some problems from being sick, but she's getting better. So good deal there, Tori. And let's see, Gigantopithecus came across the land with us and Dingo Dog. Yeah, Giganto's Chinese, I believe.
A candle in the dark.
And that was around 50,000 years ago. They don't have a whole lot of Gigantopithecus, but it is blamed for Bigfoots. However, I think it's more of a gorilla than a Bigfoot, and it doesn't match up with modern day Bigfoot sightings. So
possibly more
Bigfoot
of an orangutan
as a cryptid. Yeah, it had one of those funny jaws, didn't it?
Yeah.
But that's all we really know is that it was big and it had a jaw.
And for sure a primate.
Yeah. Maybe someday they'll find some more skeleton. That would be really neat. It seems to be Chinese, though, I believe. That's where they found it at. So we'll see. Look at your tracks. Yeah, check out Moondog's stuff. Look at my tracks. Moondog's got a bunch of tracks. He or she. I'm pretty sure I've gotten the pictures from their site. If not, it's somebody else. Look at my friends list. You'll understand why. But it could be because I've seen somebody's collection of tracks. So if that is, check out Moondog. Moondog, where's your thingy at? Hold on, I gotta flip over to the other one. Give me a moment. I know it's lame not having a producer, but it is what it is. Moondog. I'm Reverb Twang. Okay, Reverb Twang. There you go. I do have it, right? You sent me the page for it, didn't you? Let me you're added as a monitor though, or a moderator. So you can post that link so people can check them out. And stop the stupidity, chuckling about something. Let me get back over to this page. Stop the stupidities, chuckling about something. You'll have to fill me in on which one it is. But thank you for continuing your support of the channel. Really appreciate it. And we're gonna send you out with some toast, because I don't think we've played any toast tonight. We just got to have some toast.
Yeah.
Or Scott said he had toast before the show, so toast is on the mind around here.
We love toast. We love toast. We love toast. We love toast. We love toast.
And thank you for the super sticker. Stop the stupidity, $5. You're much appreciated. And you rock, and enjoy your toast. Deconverted Man's in the back. Hello, Deconverted Man. We're always talking about you, Deconverted Man. You're a great friend of the channel.
Does he mean backstage? That he's backstage, or?
No, he's back because he left, sort of.
Oh.
He's always doing something. I mean, you just never know. I mean, that's the thing. You follow Deconverted Man, you can get stuff in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night. Sometimes I just pop on YouTube, see what's what, and there's Deconverted Man. Mike says he was called away on a phone call. That's no problem, Mike. We know you get busy. Everybody gets phone calls. You're still in here, as far as I know. So, let me see. Just checking the chat real quick. Yeah, hello everybody. Hello. Yeah, we got Reverb Twang is Sasquatch Trophy Room. That's what it's called. Okay. Yeah, there are a bunch of tracks. I have seen them before. I've seen the video, the channel or whatever it may be. Yeah, check those out. That's really cool over there. And Trusty Ape dropping those emojis. Thank you, Trusty Ape. Jasper. Hello, Jasper.
Yo.
Yeah, YouTube Scientific Origins.
Thank
I think
you.
I've got the thing. If not, it says Scientific Origins. There was another one with Scientific Origins. It might be that one.
Sounds nice and sciencey, right? It's got science right in the
Either
name.
way, it'll get you hooked up with Austin. And yeah,
Yeah.
Austin does his videos. He does his debates.
The full name is Scientific Origins According to Austin Sims.
Okay.
And the name's kind of tongue-in-cheek because it's not really according to me. It's according to the corpus of primary peer-reviewed scientific literature on the subject, which is just what I'm utilizing. But I do report that I am at the top of all of my source stacks because I am aware of historiological source methodology and use it liberally. So a little tongue-in-cheek. And it was also tongue-in-cheek on the name of Rebecca Davis's channels, Exploring Origins, or whatever she calls it. Examining Origins, that's what it is. Right. Yeah. So examine it and arrive right back at the position you started at is her channel name, and my channel name is Scientific Origins. A little better, I think, in my view, but I can justify that with plenty of arguments, as you've seen from this live stream so far.
Deconverted Man is hiding under the fax machine, but he is here. And let's see.
You can come out from under there, like we don't bite.
Yeah, for sure, McTime. Things that sound sciencey are very smart. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I was talking about the earlier deconverted man asking me about. I gotta hold on. I gotta flip over the. Deconverted man is asking me about things doing the cryptids he's recommended. Yes, I am. I will look at them. I'm going through the Ohio cryptids right now, but I do have notes from you and 2, 3, 4 other people that have given me tips, including Joe. And it also says that Joe and Mike are going to do a little talk this week about addictions. So if you want to check that out, check out, I think it's on TKA's channel. And on what, Monday or Tuesday? You can stick the link in there again. I can't find it.
Our friend Joe, the Kentucky Atheist.
Joe, the Kentucky Atheist. Yep. And Tilting Windmills talking with Deconverted Man. Watch out. And don't open the links that Deconverted Man sends you. I mean, you can get into real trouble. Okay, I think, yeah, I'm part of LOD too. For you, those of you that don't know, I've read Deconverted Man's book. So if you don't want to read it yourself and you want to hear somebody read it in a nice, soothing tone, you can check me out. I've read Deconverted Man's book. I've also interviewed him on his other book. So we've got him pretty well covered on my channel. Yeah, Deconverted Man told you not to look it up. And yeah, that's
Deconverted Man.
with Joe on TKA's channel, Addictions with Joe. It's I believe it's Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, whatever day Joe does his shows. Monday. Anyway, yeah, if you click on that, you'll find out if it's Monday or Tuesday.
I love saying Deconverted Man's name like that. So nice.
Yeah, Deconverted Man.
Deconverted Man.
He's got a good deal going over there. Yeah, if you want good dissections and things like that, Deconverted Man's place. Like I say, day or night, you never know when you'll catch Deconverted Man on. He doesn't like to schedule things too often, but if you check on his channel, he'll probably be on sooner or later because something will get in his craw, and the lobster just, and it's just, he's got to go on and talk about it. So, all right, let's what do we do with this guy? Let's pop this guy back on.
I disagree, McTime. I love reading. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well,
8, 9,
some people find it more convenient
9
audio on books and stuff, and if you would like me to narrate some for you, get a hold of me, let me know. I'll do something short for free. If it's longer, we're talking about some time and effort there. Deconverted Man's book was about as many edits as I want to do. 113.
the book I'm writing is 33 or 34 pages long so far. And I've only
you're
done
in school
3
too,
chapters.
so, Addictions with Joe, the Kentucky Atheist, is on 113 at 1 p.m. So that will be Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Michael says, I'm reading a book right now. I've got about 20 books to work through. Yeah, I've got several on the desk here I'm working on all at once.
Yeah, I wish that reading wasn't that tiring for me, like with my dyslexia. That makes it just, I got to put in so much effort, and like there's so much easier ways to consume.
I've got a half dozen textbooks.
Well, in this day and age, too, people put on audio books when they're driving and stuff, and
yeah,
makes good use of the time and stuff like that. So
no, I can't focus on a book when I'm driving. Like if I want to, no, like if I'm
just
like,
can't concentrate. Period. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like if I want to, like especially if it's a book where you want to learn something, like you gotta focus on that. But like even if it's just a story or whatever, like I wanna I want to focus on that story. I want to dive into that story and not also be watching the road.
I have a biology textbook, a chemistry textbook, an immunobiology textbook, and a couple of math textbooks that are always sitting out on my table, as well as my digital atlas of human anatomy. And I also have an encyclopedia of mythology, you know, fairies and spirits and demigods and all that stuff. It's a very comprehensive encyclopedia that I like to read, just because even though I don't believe in myths, I do find them fascinating stories, and I enjoy them as the literary devices they are. I don't need to pretend that satyrs are real in order to enjoy the story of Pan's Labyrinth, you know. But some people seem to really prefer believing
most stories are told for a reason. And you know, you just got to look at the reason, and the reason is not usually the supernatural. The reason is usually something else in the story, and the story grew from there. But there is a lesson to be taught in most of these stories. And don't forget, Moondogs or Verb Twang. They've got a video, at least one video, about here are my tracks, and I've heard the Ohio Howl 100 times. So make sure you check out that channel.
That's all my nonfiction for the most part.
Scott's back.
Shostak?
Scott's back. He's in back.
Oh.
Okay. Hello, Bree. How you doing?
And then I also have my Diccionario de Español y Inglés. Y estoy leyendo.
It's easy for you to say.
See.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. That's easy for you to say.
But then as far as fiction, my favorite author of all time is Stephen King. And I've read basically his entire bibliography, and I'm always reading at least one of his books. Right now I'm reworking my way through Dreamcatcher. It's phenomenal.
I've read a couple of his, and
the fictional author I read
catchy.
is Lee Child, and not because it's anything profound. It's just I like those Jack Reacher novels.
Yeah.
Buzz to HiveSci. Good to see you. As I was saying earlier, check out the description for HiveSci and for HiveSci's merch store. If you're going to get a Bigfoot shirt, you might as well get it from Bree. And not only that, it's a nice soft shirt. You really like it. She's got different styles over there. I think she's got hats and socks too. Saturday mornings, I start out with Bree, and Saturday evenings are here with the Atheists. So I have a good mix going on Saturdays, as well as everybody that's in between, and for those that to come, and for those that have already started. And everybody on the weekends puts on a good show. So don't forget, Saturdays and Sundays are jam-packed with people. Plenty of stuff to watch.
Yeah, I like Reacher. I like some of the Reacher books. My favorite writer of those style of books is called James Rollins. He had some good books.
So I am not.
Clancy wrote a couple good ones. I like that style book, Scott.
My wife used to read a lot of the Dean Koontz and
I like Koontz.
What's his Stephen King and stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I got turned on to a lot of that stuff. Was a wife had a lot of books. So, and when I was younger, I used to read a lot of books, but that was before the internet and everything. So we were kind of stuck with books. Going to the library was a treat, right?
I think King is one of the greatest writers of all time, sincerely, 100%. And part of the reason I think that is the case is because he has such an enormous bibliography. He took so many swings, and so many of them are just freaking grand slams. Carrie, grand slam. The Dark Tower series, grand slam.
Tommy Knockers was one of them I read.
Insomnia.
Big
oh
books.
My gosh. Dreamcatcher. Yeah. Desperation. The Regulators. So many hits. So many freaking. And he had a couple misses, but
my wife would see some and she'd say, "You got to read this one. This is right up your alley." That's That's what the Tommy knockers was, because when you first see Tommy knockers, you don't have a clue what it's about. But after you read it, it's like blows your mind.
He's not just a one-trick pony either. He can change up his routine style and crank out a Shawshank or a Green Mile. And
is he in
both
Shawshank?
of those are amazing.
Is he in Shawshank?
He wrote the Shawshank Redemption. He wrote the Green Mile. Those are both.
But a lot of those movies that he wrote, he also appeared in.
I don't know. I don't think he made a cameo in that one. He made a cameo in Pet Sematary, and he made a cameo in one or two of the other movies. Yeah, but I don't think he made a cameo in that one.
That was either Twilight Zone or Creep Show, where he played the whole bit. With the guy that put his fingers in his mouth and he turned into a big outer space plant and stuff.
Yeah, he likes writing himself into his stuff sometimes.
For a while there, that was his thing. He always made a cameo, like
I believe his phrase
the
was
Marvel guy did that too.
Yeah.
Meteor shit.
He also made one of my favorite dark jokes of all time in an interview he gave. He said, "I have the heart of a small boy. I keep it in a jar on my desk."
Yeah. He is. He's even got the creepy look. He can give you that. And Jim Carrey does it really good too. Does that creepy look like that? All right. Well, let's see. We got about 10 minutes left, so we're gonna give this guy one more shot to see what he's got. Hello, Ember. Good to see you. Anybody else come in? Check over here real quick. Saw Savage Minnow came in here. Hello. Been a while. I think that's everybody, especially Bree. Yeah, hello everybody. Good to see you. Yeah, we're gonna finish up here. We're gonna give this gentleman one last chance with his engineering degrees to disprove all of science with his man bun. I'm sorry. I shouldn't pick on his hair. I mean, I've had my hair different styles too. I mean, just the man buns just really bother me. But, hey, to each their own. I know some of the YouTubers even had one for a while, and, I let it slide. But really, I mean, they look silly. I just saying what I feel about them.
Informed when it comes to science. I've been trained with science. My mind is wired to think in a scientific way. And I truly believe in scientific discovery.
No, you don't. You don't believe in discoveries. You're dismissing evolution and the Big Bang. I don't think there's anything more supported and in more fields than evolution. Right, Austin?
I won't bite, Dave. You won't make me.
I mean, why diss on it when it's in so many fields?
Not
what I mean?
Not just evolution.
Seemingly pointless.
Not just evolution, but all of deep time sciences, basically. They're all intertwined.
Yeah, it's
like
purely a religious thing.
Literally, bare minimum, 250,000 scientific and academic fields. I don't think you can put a number on it, really. But it's at least over 100 fields of science that evolution is an important part of, or there's evidence from data pools that support evolution in those fields. And many of those fields, it's quintessential. It's the central underlying theory that weaves it all together. It might be the biggest, strongest theory in science, except for maybe the lambda CMD model of the universe. Both are very big, both explain a lot, and they both match and support each other. And people try to say that they don't, using philosophical rhetorical tricks. But we haven't got any high-level verifiable data in the corpus of scientific literature that says anything otherwise. What we do have is ample evidence that the heritable characteristics of populations of organisms change over time. And the more time, the greater that change you can get. And that's where the deep time comes in, because this gradual change, these microevolutions, the heritable variation in each generation that becomes the basis of the next generation, that allows for that process to add up to all the biodiversity on the planet from a common ancestor population, or maybe like one or two common ancestor populations that were likely microorganisms that did some like genetic exchanges. So it makes it kind of hard to figure out exactly what the exact path is, but we know the shape of the path, and we know the answer to that, to everything that we haven't figured out yet. It's way more likely to be a naturalistic one. There's not going to be some little god leprechaun in there doing things, making things happen through miracles. So these guys want to tell you that miracles are the glue that can spackle over any cracks in their worldview, and really it's just it's like they're in a cage in a room sealed off from everything that challenges that worldview, and the cracks are the light trying to get in, and they're just spackling over it. Like Plato's cave is a good metaphor too. They think that the people who have left the cave and looked into the light of the sun have been driven insane, and only the shapes and shadows they see on the wall are the real world. It's there's a lot of tools for understanding it, but I think, yeah, they're all psychological and philosophical. Scientific evidence doesn't seem to reach these kinds of people very much, at least not until you tackle their philosophical and epistemological problems.
Well, this guy's been a lot of fun. I might do a part 2 on this one, because we didn't get through very much.
No.
Even though I skipped a bunch of it. I skipped 10, and we got about 7 minutes in. He's still got a bunch of stuff to do.
How many views are on the core video of this one?
Not very many.
Yeah.
Let me see. I can just go right down here and click on it. It's got 244 views over 4 years.
244. Okay, well, sheesh.
Over 4 years, though. I mean, that's you got most of them right off the bat, I would say. So he got 200 easy. So
is this his channel?
His channel is 1.2 subscribers, 1.2K.
What's his name again?
It's In the Beginning, Part 1. This is only Part 1.
What's his
Examining
name,
Evolution and the Big Bang.
What's the guy's name, though? I might have missed that.
I don't know if I saw his name or not. Let me see if it's in the thing here. All I know is he's got 2 degrees he was bragging about.
Yeah, applied science.
Facebook and Instagram and everything is on in the description. So if you click on it, you'll probably find a name for him.
Okay.
It's all in the description, as well as he must have got some stuff off of the New Life website in California. I wonder what that is. Oh yeah, the new place is New Life Fellowship KW. So that's their Facebook and Instagram, and the website is all New Life, that he doesn't even know about the old life yet. So hey Mike, how you doing?
What did I miss?
Well, you never miss anything. It's just what you want to critique. And this guy claiming he's a scientist when he's not. I mean,
did you see the part where he says, I can see why science appeals to people because it gives them a reason to reject God?
Yeah,
well,
I groaned.
Yeah, the creationists like to set it up that it's something of science against God, but yet, they use science plenty. Some of them even use it for their own health and well-being. They use advanced technology, no problem, but then go to work at Ken Ham's Ark. And I'd like to point out that Georgia has a cochlear implant. She has some implanted in her head. Okay.
Yeah.
Did she have any hopes of that as you know, younger or anything? No. It's very recent technology, and good for her. I mean, she almost talks normal and everything, and hears normal, and you know, we know some people on YouTube too, that have them too. Great technology, but these people are bad mouthing it, and then they go on these websites or these organizations where they collect their paycheck, and they badmouth science. It's like Bodie, who isn't actually with Ken anymore, at least not much, but he's got a pacemaker. Guy across the street tried to Zod himself. The doctor said the only reason he was alive was probably because he had a pacemaker. It kept his heart going, because he got Zodded right across, you know, the arm and chest area, you know, went right through there. Could have easily turned him off, and he was an old guy. Some of you remember when that happened to me. Guy across the street touched the main power lines when he was working on his antenna, and not 110, like 220 or higher, and he lit himself up, and he was smoking so much paramedics had to cut his clothes off like you see in the movies, you know what I mean, and throw his stuff to the side and leave him naked, cover him up, because his clothes are all smoldering. And the doctor said if not for the Bree was there. Bree remembers it all too well. She was my guest for the day. Yes, you did, and you did a great job too. I didn't get back on till like 4 hours later or something like that. It was a bad day. Anyway, it was even worse for him, I guess. You know, even though I could complain about it, I didn't have burns all the way up my arm. He had to get his whole arm peeled, and like I say, the only thing that kept him alive was the pacemaker. That's how good of a technology they've come on those things. That's how bulletproof, so to speak, they are. And here's this guy, you know, he's ready to do something. He's always getting yelled at by his kids for trying to do something. And most recently, he broke a hip, and he's still going. I saw him out the other day going to the store or something. He's indestructible. But we aren't all that. And don't go touching the big power lines out back, because
hell no.
Yeah, AJ has a cochlear implant. Yes. Yeah, we were doing the Scottish show. I was all geared up for my Scottish show. Had my hat and everything, my Murray plaid. We were doing the Scottish thing, and it's for my birthday and big event, and the dude knocked the power out in the whole neighborhood. Being a goofball, 80 some years old. Yeah, 80 some years old, and I heard him go bang from across the street, right? It was a rough night. Okay.
We're gonna let him make his final point.
Yeah, one last point, and we're gonna call it a night. What would you say, Brainless?
Well, I just wanted to say, as an electrician, if you don't know what you're doing with electricity, stay the fuck away from it. Call an electrician.
Yeah,
well,
he's got that.
I know how it feels. It's not nice. Just
he's got a big ham antenna, which is all good. I mean, that's his hobby or whatever. But he doesn't really have the yard for the guide wires, right? And they're around the edge of his property, and I'm in the suburbs, you know, so we don't have really big yards. You know, he's got a nice size yard, but he's got a big garage and everything. So, and his wiring should like go out another neighbor or so. You know what I mean? That's you know, we're close here, and we live on a cul-de-sac too. So he just it was really tight for him, you know, moving those guide wires around. And he's close to the power lines as it is. So it wasn't much to arc across. Plus, he had his kid helping. He didn't really know what he was doing, I don't think. And, you know, it was a bad day off all around for all of them. But they both, the kid got burned and the old man got blasted. And they both got blasted on their butts. And, power is nothing to mess around, especially when it goes beyond 110. You start touching the stuff on the lines back there, and that can light you up, especially, you know, the 220, the 440, whatever is running back there.
My favorite thing with 220 power is I had this landlord. He's a huge Irish guy with a big beer gut, and his t-shirt was always up above his belly button. and he was working on my water heater, and it was 220 volts. And I asked him, if you want me to shut the power off? And he said, nah, you know. And then about 3 seconds later, there was this huge blue-green arc, and it blew him on his ass. And he says, yeah, why don't you go ahead and shut that off?
John Hudson said he had to look up what cochlear was. Cochlear is for your ears. Yeah, it's a hearing implant. They put it in your head right behind your ear, and they basically skip over whatever is not working, and it's hardwired right to your brain. And I don't know how they hear, or all the workings of it or whatever, but I know that I've seen videos before where people are getting them and stuff, and they've never heard before, and all of a sudden they can hear. As soon as they're healed, they hook them up and they adjust them and everything, and well, what do you know? They can hear, and these people are besides themselves. Never be able to, or not hear good, one or the other.
They have very strong emotional reactions. People cry.
Yeah, thank you, modern technology. Now you can say thank you, God, or whatever you want to say. People do that. Thanks prayers and all that stuff, but none of that did it. Science did it. Good old person working in a lab under a microscope did it. Okay, so give them a pat on the back. That's all I want. I don't want you want to pray or whatever and stuff. That's fine. But give a little credit to these people that, literally have slept on a cot and stuff and spend their day looking through a microscope. And that's not easy to do, right? It's just not easy to do. And then to invent something and make it smaller and smaller. And the boss says it's still not small enough. And you got to make it smaller and smaller and layer it. And it becomes quite difficult. And we take it way too for granted. And then we dare to get on like this guy. Get on a stage and diss science when he's, it's rude. I've never been a scientist, but I always felt for scientists where it's like, that's rude. I mean, it's one thing if you make it jokes and stuff, it's another thing when you're talking about somebody's life's work and maybe somebody that's invented something great, and you're just dissing on them, right? It's just
psychologists, sociologists, biologists, chemists, meteorologists, all
and don't forget people,
categories of
people
scientists
that don't invent something
have been
people that all come together,
sounding the alarm. They have been noticing major problems that the planet is facing: lack of education, erosion of democracy, overpopulation, pandemics, decline in global biodiversity, climate change, and all these things are related to each other. And there's a web of people who are profiting from the systems that keep these things in place. And those people are very wealthy and they have a lot of power and a lot of influence. Most media policymakers are going to side with those people because they can make things cheaper for them, or they can make life much harder if they're enemies. So they're going to suck up to them when they can. And there's a whole complicated structure here that causes all these problems, and it's very entrenched. And so scientists and psychologists and biologists and all these categories of people who have the courage to speak out against it and try and help people learn about them, they know they're going to be attacked by people like Jim Bob, by people like freaking Aaron Siri and Graham Hancock and Robert Sepper and his whole cult of freaking white nationalists who believe in Atlantis because they think it was made by a fucking master race. And we do it anyways. And I think that makes for some level of difference in the world. It should count for that. And instead, we just get attacked a lot. And I have managed mostly to avoid getting attacked a lot, but I've made a couple of good enemies.
Hey, but you're just starting, dude. You're just starting.
Yeah,
and you're just starting, and you already have enemies. So you're doing something good.
Hello, Christian. How you doing over at Mike's channel? Good to see
The
you.
first guy I interacted with is one of them now. He started sending me these weird, cryptic, threatening messages, and I was like, "All right, Eric, bye."
Well, I got
You guys remember Eric?
Threatening
I
or
got threatened.
Yeah.
I got threatened from deconverted man with the eyeballs earlier, and that was enough. And we also had I think Ember hooked me up with Bigfoot on toast. If not, whoever did, thank you very much. I think it was Ember though. And there we go. Pop everybody back
Ember.
up.
Ember
I
is
think I'm going to do a
another
part 2 on this video
another
because
awesome person fighting those people with her real name and face. Freaking awesome thing to do. Total Chad
and
move.
don't forget Ember's in the description. You can help Ember out with her medical bills. There's GoFundMe or whatever it is in the description. There's a description of the full video, and I think I'm going to do a part 2 with this video because we didn't get very far, and he didn't even talk about the Big Bang stuff. And I wanted to learn about all the science that he knew, and
and you ought to hear him talk when he talks about evolution. It's kind of precious. Later on,
and so we'll do a part 2 next week, and we'll look at him some more, and then I won't have to line up anything. I'll just put a part 2 on there, and you already know what you're going to see next week. So be prepared. Yeah. I cut off the first few minutes, and luckily I did because they were kind of boring, and then we didn't get that far into the video. So, but next week we'll do part 2, and we'll check out what else he's got to say. Go ahead.
My friend just came up with an amazing painting of Trump's face on a peak for impeach him, and he's gonna paint it on a rock. I'll put it in our group chat. Maybe one of you guys know how to show it on screen, but it's awesome.
Good. And we want to throw another happy birthday out to Mike. Hope you had a good birthday, Mike.
I did. I had a wonderful time with my sons. We watched a movie and ate unbelievably good burgers. So,
anyway. And at the beginning, we played Mike a song. So if you want to hear Mike's birthday song, you can click to the beginning of the video.
Yeah.
And you can hear Mike's birthday song. We all gave Mike a big shout out for his birthday. What was it, like Wednesday or something?
It was Wednesday. Yeah.
Wednesday. Okay.
Yep.
And while we're at giving you a shout out, you're going to be with Joe on the 13th, I understand.
Yes, and we're going to do a deep dive into addiction and recovery. And Joe has lost a few friends recently, and I've lost not close friends but acquaintances in AA recently to this shit, and it is heartbreaking, that we haven't learned how to deal with it very well yet. So we're going to talk about that. Thank you, Tilting Windmill.
And you know what the reason is why we've not gotten further with that?
Spirit mind?
No, because of all the substances that a lot of people get addicted to have been criminalized.
Yeah.
So people can go get help.
Yeah. And there's this whole thing about willpower and you have a weak will and you're a bad person. There's all this stigma associated with it yet, and it's really, I mean, it's its own kind of racism, basically, dealing with addicts like they're second class people. And when you understand the realities of it, as Joe and I have from the inside, you know that it has nothing to do with the shit they're talking about at all. It's a serious disease. And and there are ways of dealing with it too, but we'll get into that. So
Tilted Windmill says they have a spinal cord stimulator implant, but don't remember exactly about the cochlear implants. But there's more technology, things they're doing with the spine, and things for who was it? Jerry Lewis had that medicine face going on and everything, is all blowed up. And he went on the electronic thing, and he didn't have to take all his medications anymore, and he didn't spend his last days all blowed up. Just great things. And somebody
Yeah.
asked, is truth objective or subjective? Well, it could be objective, but so far it's only been proven to be subjective. How's that for an answer?
Depends on the proposition.
Yeah.
Truth is a mathematical function applied to propositions. Don't get too hung up on it.
Mike, you were talking about addiction recovery.
Yeah.
I assume you know about Sapolsky.
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Robert
yeah, I thought we had
Sapolsky.
talked about him before. He has some great work on depression. If you haven't checked it out, it's one of his focuses, and I think depression and addiction, they are very similar a lot of the time.
Yeah, it is.
Your brain stops producing the dopamine, the vasopressin, the happy chemical, you know, the right chemicals that make you feel good. And the more you become addicted to the substance, the more you need it for those chemicals, for that feeling of stability.
Yeah, you create
you're
pathways.
anxious. Yeah, for sure.
That totally changed the way your organism works.
Yeah.
You create these neural pathways, and they're with you for life. I still have them after 18 years off the stuff.
Yeah.
And I always will. Pretty amazing.
And you can get addicted to all kinds of stuff. People tend to think, addiction is heroin and crack and cocaine. Well, people get addicted to food. They get addicted to sugar. They get addicted to sex. They get addicted to money. They get addicted to all kinds of things. And it's the things that make the happy chemicals, the vasopressin, the dopamine, the serotonin. And, you can get addicted to anything that produces that feeling in your brain and develop this complex. And we have all kinds of disorders, and it's interesting how we can have compassion for people that have things like cancer or lupus or fibromyalgia, but it's we don't have so much compassion for people who are mentally ill, and it's pretty much the same thing, like you say.
Yeah, like basically you can get addicted to anything that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Like,
when I was researching that stuff for Rebecca's mistake on her channel today, I run across a paper where they did a bunch of autopsy brain scans, right, on dead people, brains of suicide victims. And they were able to see a difference between the people that had committed suicide and people that died of other causes. And if we can see it on a goddamn brain scan after the brain is dead, you'd think we could do something about it. We could find a way to fix this shit, right?
Well, part of it is the brain problem creates a behavior problem that makes it harder to treat. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and it becomes a reality in your brain, in the physical structure of your brain.
Yeah.
It actually changes the way your brain works.
Yes, a lot of things can do that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, you got anything coming up on your channel? Or are you busy with school?
Me, I'm getting registered for next semester. I've almost finished that, but red tape and hoops and all this stuff. If all goes well, I'll be continuing to study chemistry next semester, or I might take a semester off and resume in the summer. But as far as my channel, I'll be having Damien back again tomorrow, the philosopher and the out of Africaologist. Any of you who want to stop by, you're welcome to join us. I'm sure he'd be happy to teach you guys the stuff he's teaching me as well. He's brilliant. I really enjoy his perspectives on things. He's an axiologist, is what he describes himself as, if you guys haven't met him before.
And Brainless, you're hanging out with other channels as usual?
Yeah. I don't know if Slim's coming up. I believe the commander has an idea for a stream, but I have no idea when they're gonna do that. So,
well, watch for Brainless on Slim's channel or Commander's channel, Deep State Annex. It's linked in the description. as well as Austin, Answers in Atheism. Scott had to duck out. I imagine his timer went off. He,
Yeah.
he says good night to everybody, and thanks for having him on. And thanks for being here, Scott. And last but not least, that's the way I meant to say it. Fucked it up. Last but not least, and that made me swear too. Simos. What's going on with you, Simos? You feeling any better?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm on Chris Mouty's channel mostly at the moment. So let me just put the link in there. The Other Hood, and that's a channel debunking race, IQ, and the pseudoscience of racism and IQ.
Damien
dive-
would especially love to meet you, Simos.
Cool.
Because
Well,
he's
get
big
him
into
to come
that.
by the channel. And yeah, and mostly we've done deep dives into the bell curve, of course, and also eugenics as well, and things like that, which is where it all started. And then we've followed through to modern day. There's some interesting interviews with some pseudoscientists, and also some refuters of that. Dr. Tucker is one I can think of offhand, and a few other people as well. And yeah, there's a lot of information there about how fallacious the bell curve actually is. So
You're telling me that IQ isn't a perfect gauge of the complex, multifaceted quality that is human intelligence?
no, it's not even.
No way.
It's not even. I don't know if you know that, but they called it the bell curve. But it's neither. He neither did IQ tests for it, nor is it actually a bell curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
video
the
I
whole
did
thing's
today.
fallacious.
Video I did today was about 2 papers that tried to associate genetics with IQ, and I had a little bit of a ethical issue just reading them, but they found basically what they're finding is that genetics has a lot to do with how our brains wire, and how our brains wire are going to determine a different skill set for different people, and that's what IQ misses.
Yeah.
Is that there are different skill sets.
Misses a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, please
I
sub to the
saw
channel.
somebody asked, is this stream about Out of Africa? No, only tangentially. The stream I'm doing tomorrow is about Out of Africa. The guy I have coming in is an expert on the Out of Africa model, and he's a great resource on it.
Well, Mike, if you wouldn't mind, please subbing to the channel, and maybe you can come on and explain that to us. That would be really good.
Absolutely.
There you go.
It's in the chat now. It's called The Other Hood IQ.
I like that profile picture too. Is that a Futurama style picture? It's one of Matt Groening's best.
Yeah, that's a good picture.
Why can't
I don't see.
Is it in private? Oh, it's in private chat.
I put it in private chat as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you can just click on it and
I'm
do
a
the thing.
big
But yeah,
Matt
we'd love to
Groening fan.
have you on to explain that.
The Other Hood.
I
Nice.
got. Here you go.
Yeah,
I'm sub 2.
Excellent.
Okay, I'll sub on both my accounts.
Yeah, great.
Let's see.
Yeah, if that's any kind of a serious question about this panel or anything, we're a bunch of atheists, basically, science people, and yes, we came out of Africa, so.
Both into and out of Africa, the human ancestor populations that we descend from, they migrated all over the place. But it started in, I think, northeast Africa, then went south, and then northwest, and then out of Africa, and then out to Siberia, and then some of them went back to Africa. It's a complicated model. Humans traveled all over the place, dropping some of their members. At some point, they started burying the members that they dropped. We put a lot of work into this model, and it's a reasoned speculation from the evidence that's got a pretty good working model. Like one of the great things about this model, I think, is that it explains that the deities most people are worshiping today have evolved over time alongside human biology and language and culture. And they slowly built up from animism to totemism to shamanism, and then finally paganism and deism and theism. And you can still see the roots of this in every contemporary religion on the planet.
Absolutely.
And we will be here next Saturday, as spoken of earlier. I think we'll just do a part 2 because I want to hear a little more of this guy, and he knows all about science, and I want to learn all about science. So we still have the whole second half of it, really, of the first part. He thinks
it's hard to get through these videos because they're so wrong. They're so long.
Yeah. I know, but this one here, we didn't even get to the other part of it. The first part of the video or whatever the series is, I don't know, it's some goofy thing, but he seems quite assured of himself, and he tells a lot of bad jokes, and I kind of want to listen to a little more of him. So I think next week, we'll just take another look at it, and that'll be that, and we'll see what comes this week. I got to go to the doctor, and depending how things go and that, we'll make some decisions about the channel. How about that? So you'll know when I'm going to be on and not on. But for right now, I'm concentrating on Saturdays, and I've got a Grassman just about ready. I gotta do like one more rewrite on it, but it's mostly together. The notes are together, the pictures are together, so I could just make up a Grassman video. I've been promising it for a while, but again, illness is getting in the way. So, and when you're ill, you're like, hey, I ain't working on no story, right? No offense, but that's the way it is, right? But as soon as I get some good news, which I'm hoping for, then maybe we can adjust things a little better, because I am sick of being tired. Really, I mean, if they could do anything so I'm not dragging so much, you know what I mean? It's I think that's the worst part of it all is these drugs make you drag, and I'd like to get them lessened up or changed or something, so I just quit dragging. I'm not doing anything much. There's not much I can do. I couldn't even hold the ladder for my kid. I had to have my son hold the ladder because my hands were kind of shaky. I'm just barely eating enough so that I'm not losing weight. I actually gained some pounds, but I'm not eating like I should. And when you don't eat like you should, when you're on any of these diets, you're missing out on things, right? You're not getting all your different fruits and veggies and meats and all this kind of, and that's kind of what we're supposed to have. We're supposed to have a good mix.
Yeah.
But as you could see earlier, I am keeping well hydrated, so don't worry about me there. And I'm hoping for a good week at the doctor this week. I'm going in for my scans this week, and we will learn if all this has been worth it or not.
Yeah. Rooting for you, Dave.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and thank you everybody else that's been rooting me on and wishing me good luck. And it's all you can do is put it in the hands of the doctors now, right? So
you could also pray, but
I could. Yeah.
Won't do shit, but it's a thing you can do. A lot of people doing that.
Yeah.
When you're juked up on steroids, Simos will tell you, man, you're worried about munchies and gabbing with people and just keeping your mouth going because it wants to keep up with the steroids or something.
Yeah.
I've never had munchies like that before, let me tell you.
That leads me to what I think would be a good final thought for me on this whole stream, which is that you can pray, and there's a reason why these people do prayer instead of more concrete action sometimes, and it's because although one of the strengths of their worldview, at least from their point of view, I see it as a bug more than a feature, is that it's placed beyond questioning. One of the weaknesses of their worldview is that a result of that is they're completely confused about anything outside of local scale. Anything cosmic or granular is just beyond them. And I think that's part of why we got stuck on this guy so much, because he is so lost that way. And yeah, you got to correct that. And it's very dense, the specific way he's wrong about things.
There's a link for a good series that Tilting Windmill saw. And, of course, a link for my channel. Don't forget, you can check out everybody's links down in the description, as well as links for friends of the channel. We've got Kentucky Atheist down there. We've got HiveSci down there. We've also got the HiveSci merch. We've got the GoFundMe for Ember. We've got the link for the full video. Links for everybody's channels are in this description as well. Next week, we'll do a part 2. Thanks for the well wishes. I appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that's been here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Gotta pop in. Gotta pop in Simos.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody that's been here. Yeah, there's no big deal. We're wrapping things up.
Yeah.
I was just saying thank you to everybody for being here. Thanks, Scott, for being here too. Mike, I know you had a phone call, but you were here most of the time. Simos, Austin, Brainless, always a pleasure talking with y'all. Awesome. And we will be back next Saturday with part 2. So if you enjoyed this part, you should enjoy next part. Of course, they're talking about the 2 biggest flops are the theory of evolution and the theory that's behind the Big Bang, even though they seem to all know the song. So apparently they're not even listening to the words, even though they know the song. Oh, whatever.
There you go.
Yep, it's that broken filter again.
Yeah, just to remind people, half an hour, Leo is doing a debate on mega bloodbaths or something.
Oh, sweet. I'll for sure be there.
Leo's going to be on Taco's channel, so make sure you check out Taco and support Taco, support Leo. Don't support the other guy, but you know.
And if you don't want to go to Mega Bloodbath, Ember and Mark Reed are doing their debate breakdown stream right now too. So go check them out.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
There you go. I'm
Good
sure
night, guys.
Somebody else is covering it.
Good night, Mike.
Good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time. And we'll go out with my outro.
Tales of lore knocking at the captive death's door. Oh, legends live within these walls, silent echoes in the halls, books and stories on the floor, knocking at the captive death's door. Oh, captive desk, hold our dreams, where reality and all myth seems. In conversations quiet flow, the mysteries untold will know. Legends live within these walls, silent echoes in the halls, books and stories on the floor, knocking at the captive text. Nerves are wide, hearts are keen, pages turn to secret scene, ancient maps and hidden lore, knocking at the captive text door. Oh, captive desk, hold our dreams, where reality and all myth seems. In conversations quiet flow, the mysteries untold will